so that he actually likes Lynch's version better than Villeneuve's version.
What?
Yeah.
Well, he's probably a big fan of Lynch, which I am too. Lynch is a great director, but it's too much Lynch in that version of Dune.
So my question was to Ross, since Ross is the super fan with Dune, and you, Raul. I forgot. Sorry, you are too. So he asked me because he knew Leonardo. Because we asked this after. He goes, "Were there any pugs?" I'm like, "The fuck you mean pugs?" I had to look it up.
So, no, there weren't any pugs.
Yes, he asked me if there were pugs. Apparently, I looked back at it. Gurney, Patrick Stewart's Gurney, had a pug.
He did have a pug.
Was present that pug was all over the place. Duke Leto was holding him when they were disembarking.
Okay.
They were disembarking on Arrakis. They brought the animal. He was all over the palace.
Okay.
In the Arrakis scenes, the dog was everywhere, and apparently he was included because Lynch saw the pug as a symbol of Renaissance aristocracy.
Oh Jesus!
Apparently, the 100 prequel is not happening now.
Yeah. So he included that in order to give an air of that aristocracy.
Okay, yeah.
So the image of Patrick Stewart clutching that pup in one hand, his rifle in the other, for Duke Leto.
I love that.
I
love that. To be honest, it's so cheesy.
It's so ridiculous.
So yeah, I was like, yeah, there were no pugs. He's like, oh man, I already don't like it. He's still.
How do you know pugs even exist 10,000 years in the future?
Yeah, it should be chihuahuas, if anything.
Oh goddamn it!
Cloning.
It should be reptiles. It should be a regal.
They should be called for Dukelito. Ah, gross.
Here, I got it. Justin, are you ready? Salamanders from Voyager Threshold. That's who it should be.
And here's the thing. That year, that isn't 10,191 AD. That's 10,000 years after the Jihad.
Yes, yeah, after the Baudelairian Jihad,
which was about 10,000 years into the future from today.
Right, which is oh no.
Yeah, there it is. He's been waiting for an opportunity, and he finally got one.
I keep a backlog of certain things in my inventory for the right thing. You know, I have Badgie. I have Deadpool.
That's always a good one, though.
Yes,
that's a good one.
Go wrong with Deadpool.
Speaking of Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds, will be. I know he's got one movie coming out next year, but Ryan Reynolds is actually stepping away from making movies for the foreseeable future. I believe until Deadpool 3. Like any decent person, I would say he's going on. He wants to focus more on his family and his 3 daughters and wife.
Good.
He's gonna. He's
got his own
business
doing a
Rick Moranis. He's stepping away for just a little bit.
I was going to mention Rick Moranis is famous for giving up his career at the height of his career. When he was super popular.
But I wouldn't wish on anybody when your wife passes away. Unfortunately, he had to.
Yeah, but he was such a good man. You could tell.
You are roboting.
Who, me?
No, Greg.
Oh,
what?
All right.
Are you roboting or am I roboting?
For tonight's show.
Oh no.
Okay.
Special prop.
I'm gonna grab a drink myself. I'll be right back.
I'm scared.
Okay.
Welcome to the pre-show, folks, where we don't give a fuck.
And where everybody just walked away right now.
Live on the pre-show.
So for all
it's an empty chairs.
For all of our fans watching our show, I'll just do a quick rundown since we won't talk about it during the main show. Yeah, there's nothing new. Oh, look, it's
hello, son.
Hello.
Hey, son, check your inbox in Discord. You got a surprise.
Oh dear.
Oh, I apologize. I've had OBS Studios open all this time, so I didn't get a notification. Let me take a look.
Yes. A nice little surprise waiting for you.
In Discord?
Yeah, it should be. If not, I will resend it. Give me a second. Oh, well, look at that. Oh, yeah. It's in there.
Yeah, the Google.
Yeah, the thing, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I signed up for it.
Yep.
I don't care, honestly. Discovery is quickly becoming Star Trek The Flash.
Ooh,
Oh.
there's coffee in that nebula.
Oh
was
my
that?
God! You got. Was that for
coffee
the
must flow.
Voyager doc?
Good afternoon, Miss Sun.
Hey, son.
Oh, someone.
Hello.
Was that me? Oh.
But shows that just got announced. Camp Cretaceous season 4
Wow.
will be out in December.
Nice.
Didn't they literally start that show just last year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cobra
And
Kai.
already got a 4th season?
Yeah, so Cobra Kai season 4 comes out next year. Also,
Can't wait. I'm so stoked. That
Oh,
series
yeah.
had me pumped.
Can't wait.
oh, so and speaking of Cobra Kai, Raul, I got a special decal for Leia's car, my fiance. On the back of her car, we got a nice decal that says "Lil Russo Auto Group."
Oh, really? That's so funny. Only certain people will get it. Good.
But yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to Camp Cretaceous season 4. And Sun's right that they did just start the show last year, but I'm pretty sure, like, I want to say with Lower Decks, they did like the first season, like they have it just done, like they had so many episodes done and just splitting.
Animation you could do cheaply in Hollywood compared
Yeah.
to like live action.
Yeah, but see, the problem is that a lot of animation is treated like game development. There's a bunch of fucking crunch. Even if you had a season ready to go the year before the first release, to have 3 following seasons done in the span of a year, that's a bunch of fucking crunch unless you're going through different studios.
Yeah, that was kind of like my thing. I was like, they're having. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm excited, but some makes it fun because I was like, I'm sitting here like, wow, season 4 already, and it's gonna be a year. Like that's intense. That's basically one season for. Literally, they're going one season for every season of the year.
I'm not surprised because if anybody's ever been close to Hollywood, then and I know Carlos is in Hollywood. The way they work is intense. They do not take time off. That's why they party so hard and so far because the work is so intense.
But also keep in mind these are 12 episode seasons. These aren't 36, 48.
20-minute,
even 32 episodes.
Sure,
I think that's
but
the new style, though,
even
Ross.
then, I mean, but sure, but even then, we've literally already had issues with Netflix and animation stuff because we had this thing out of the Carmen Sandiego animation show.
Oh, that was
where they had a Philippine animation studio that they were literally overworking. The animators were talking about being overworked and underpaid for what they were doing for the show.
Yeah,
and that caused a huge ruckus. I mean, that's literally why I stopped watching the show.
Another one.
I did the same, son, because even though I enjoyed the show, I have great memories of Carmen Sandiego, the game
Absolutely.
and the thing, but I will not stand. It's the same reason I don't buy Apple products. The abuse of the workers in India. I cannot stand that. Sorry, you don't get to abuse other people because you're in a better economic situation than them.
I mean, like my first and only interaction with Activision Blizzard has been Overwatch. And when the Blitzchung thing happened, I was out from the whole fucking company. And then all this shit started happening, and it's like, wow, I'm glad I stuck to my principles from the get-go.
Yeah, no, Blizzard is not a company to hitch your ride to, guys out there. They have shown consistently to pick the wrong side of every problem that they have ever had in the last 3 years.
And this week it got even worse.
And if it could get worse, it's amazing. But Blizzard minus to get the new low in, possibly, with your favorite title as well.
So you remember how a couple of weeks ago we were talking about how they changed like those paintings, Yeah, they started renaming all of the joke things, like the sexual joke things. Like there's some kind of ship called the Red
you
Rocket or
kidding me?
something.
It wasn't. It was a mount called the pink love rocket.
Oh, for fuck's
The
sake!
big pink love rocket.
And now
That's
it's
not
been
offensive at all.
and now it's been renamed. Like they're going through the entire fucking game and renaming all this shit like it's going to fucking help.
Well, here's the difference there. That's not Blizzard, the company, coming down on that and telling them to purge all the even most innocent innuendo. That's the devs themselves going through and taking out all of the residual from
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it comes from on high or not. That's literally them changing their own game because of a controversy
and because of who implemented it. Apparently, these were all in-jokes put in by the most toxic of the devs.
Yeah, that's right. That's why it should be kept there.
The dev team disagrees. The current dev team, that is.
I mean, I as much as I understand the toxicity and all that kind of shit, like when you scrub someone being an asshole, you clean their image.
Yeah, she's right, but the problem is, son, that they have to try and mitigate some of this damage somehow. Apparently somebody's an adult in Blizzard. Who knew? But they're trying.
It's not one of the new co-owner.
No, it's not.
He's gone
Because she literally just walked out on them.
Honestly, I think I could do without the joke. I got what you need. Zip.
No.
The reason
that was in there. That was long.
No.
That was Goblin, so it wasn't launch. But yeah,
the reason I brought up
no.
Camp Cretaceous. There we go. The reason I brought up Camp Cretaceous is because the promo is showing the kids running away from the Spinosaurus, implying they have landed on Isla Sorna.
That would make sense.
And
Boondock Saints 3 confirmed.
Wait, whoa, what?
What?
Boondock Saints 3 confirmed with original cast and director.
What? Right?
You know what? How about we add that to the Trello tonight?
What?
I mean, well, hey, they made the Bill and Ted 3, which I still haven't seen.
Hey, Bill and Ted 3 was a masterpiece in filmmaking. I don't care what it is.
Did I say anything for or against Bill and Ted?
I can help you with that, son.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I can help myself with it now that I have views back. I mean, hell, that's how I watched the Doctor Who special.
Yeah.
Thank you, Froggy.
I absolutely
it took me forever to find that damn site. You know, again, I was trying to figure out, like, oh my god, I gotta watch it. Oh yeah, we're talking about Doctor Who tonight, by the way.
We are?
Even if you haven't seen it, we're talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, there was the new season, quote unquote, premiered during Halloween. Like literally.
And it's actually fucking watchable. It's fucking watchable.
It's called the Halloween Apocalypse.
And it's watchable. It's a watchable.
The first thing that came out of my mouth when the episode was over is, if this is how Chris Chibnall operates, he should have been doing this from the beginning. Because this is only supposed to be like a 6-episode story.
You had to close out the season. Because there's only 6 episodes a season, I think.
I don't know. They started splitting seasons in half, and I lost fucking count and interest.
Well, after the travesty that was the last season, with that bullshit with the master. Ugh.
Now, see, here's the thing. I don't mind the master being that way. Like, so many people were upset that the master acted the way he did, and I'm like, he's literally just an obsessive fan, and that's always what he's been. Just more classy about it. Now he's literally like the giddy fucking obsessive girlfriend. about it, right?
Nah.
That doesn't bother me at all. It's the fucking story that they created around the two that I have a problem with.
Completely rewriting the Doctor's history.
I mean, see, look. I don't care about like the time. Okay, I don't care so much about the timeless child thing. Like that actually makes sense to me in a way. That makes sense to me. What I don't get and what I absolutely loathe is the fact that apparently the Master has known all fucking long about this shit
Mm-hmm.
and has kept it secret from the Doctor while still being super fucking obsessed about the Doctor.
Ross, this was confirmed by Jurassic World. So yeah, there it is. Oh wait, kids running away from the Spinosaurus.
Nice.
So
yeah, these franchises are getting a nice bit of rejuvenation by appealing to younger audiences.
And I like the reason I like Camp Cretaceous so much though is that I will fanboy over Jurassic Park harder than I will Star Trek. And
Jurassic Park.
I love Justin.
The way they're doing Camp Cretaceous is leading right into Dominion, and I like it's the holdover since we've had COVID. Not that that was the plan, but Cretaceous is holding us over till we get Dominion in June. So,
John, wake me up when they're done.
Speaking of animated stuff, here's the headline from IGN: Star Trek wants its own version of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
No.
Apparently, in an interview with THR, Kurtzman and Paramount Pictures CEO Brian Roberts, in part of the interview, talked about the possibility of doing a Prodigy feature film or something like it.
I'm okay with a Prodigy.
I could deal with that.
Okay, a Prodigy film is not Star Trek Into the Spider-Verse. It's not.
No, but son, here's I think what they're doing.
I think they're talking about young appeal more than anything.
But Picard season 2 is going to dive because it seems to be an unconfirmed rumor now that Q was retconning the entire history of the Borg in season 2.
There's honestly been no concrete history to the Borg, period.
Yeah.
Just that they were in the Delta Quadrant.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only
part. The Next Generation with no background, no history. They were first, an aggressive technological base.
So here's the exact quote.
Okay.
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is one of the best movies over the past decade, animated or not, Kurtzman said. I went with my whole family and another family, and we all just sat there with our jaws on the floor. Ultimately, Star Trek is about family. It's about these giant universal themes, getting to tell a story like that, especially given the level of cinema we've already brought to a television show. It's a wonderful opportunity, and it would thrill me to do that.
So you want to create a Q movie? Okay.
I see what you did there, son.
Or a War Parallels movie.
So give us a Q movie with John.
A Parallels movie would be too fucking intellectually highbrow for a kid's for a kid movie.
Okay, here, give us a Q. Give us here. I got the perfect Q movie. Bring back Keegan. Keegan Delaney. He's an adult. I get that. But if they want to appeal to younger audience, give us the younger Q. Bring us the first Q ever born. Yeah, Junior.
Cast Tom Hiddleston as him.
Oh my God, low-key Q.
So apparently, correction. Junior is the second Q that we know of to be born naturally.
Yep.
Amanda.
They were not Howard. They were not Q.
No. Amanda's parents.
Not Amanda Howard.
No. In the Next Generation, there was the 2Q who left to go to Earth, and they had a kid.
Right, Amanda.
And then that freak tornado happened and killed the 2Q because they renounced their powers as soon as they had the kid, and the kid still had Q powers. There's like a whole fucking episode of whether or not she can use her powers or not as a Q.
Right.
Yeah, she was literally the first canonical Q born, like, that we know of. January 2nd.
Zack Snyder cast Sofia Boutella in lead role of his Netflix sci-fi movie.
Yeah, it's based on
Rebel Moon.
the drug queen. I forget her name.
Hey.
La Mujer is what they used to call her in Spanish.
According to the synopsis, a peaceful colony on the edge of the galaxy is under threat from the tyrannical regent Belisarius. A young woman must seek out warriors from nearby planets to defend her home.
Oh no, wrong project. I was thinking of something else. Sophia Bola, what's her name?
So it sounds like Seven Samurai, or the Magnus.
Well, it should be. Seven Samurai in space with aliens.
Yeah.
So I have another piece of Doctor Who news.
Ooh.
So we all know that they've tapped Russell T Davies to come back and be show lead for Doctor Who.
Yes, I can't wait.
What wasn't mentioned, or I think what's flown under a lot of the fucking radar, is that reports are now indicating that BBC has lost direct creative control of the show to Russell T Davies' studio, Bad Wolf, while BBC itself still maintains the international marketing rights, like marketing Doctor Who overseas and stuff.
Right.
And what's interesting is the BBC put out a press release to say, no, these rumors aren't true. But in the press release, literally confirms the back half of the report. Yes, they're handling all the international stuff. So it's a denial by confirming the other half
Which
of the report.
BBC is well known for.
So
BBC is a secretive organization.
Two
With-
interesting
with their-
headlines.
Well, Bad Wolf is one that does all the audio adaptations for Doctor Who, and they actually do really good jobs.
Right. I have nothing but confidence that Doctor Who will be a great smashing success.
Well, after the travesty the last two seasons was, I really hope they turn it around. I really wish Jodie Whittaker would stay because she's a hell of an actor. It was just she was suffering from bad writing.
Image Comics workers form union.
Good.
Follow-up report. Image Comics fails to recognize union.
Image
Not
Comics
surprising.
embroiled in large lawsuit over non-union union.
They are the
Next
Comic
week.
Book Workers United, a union to support its writers and artists.
No, this is going to be nothing but fail.
Let's see.
Or when? We'll see.
I'm skimming through the article to see what Image's
Oh, because skimming is
statement
always
is.
good.
It's okay. It's a good thing we're not live.
Well, we
We
are
are.
live.
I'm kidding. Of course.
We are live.
All right, the article does not say.
Oh no!
I'm trying to find it, but it's okay. I'm just skimming through it. The other article that just caught my attention: Sega and Microsoft announced gaming strategic alliance.
Really?
Oh wow.
I mean,
Then why the fuck are people paying $50 for a Nintendo subscription that includes terrible, it's just a terrible price for so little Sega games?
because that's the Sega Classic Library. This is going forward. This is their properties like THQ.
So
Creative
another
Assembly.
I love
$50.
THQ.
And
So
it'll-
it's going to be another $50 a month.
all their new stuff.
So another $50 a month.
No, it sounds like newer Sega stuff is going to be coming to Game Pass. This is
Good.
Sega double dipping in a bunch of different places.
Speaking
I
of
would
all
hope.
that, I got the expansion pass for the Switch, the 64 expansion pass. I mean, I've been enjoying the shit out of it. I've almost beaten Mario 64. I'm about to beat Legend of Zelda. My buddies and I are gonna start streaming Mario Kart.
Oh
Mario
my
Kart is
God.
awesome for streaming. The betrayal with the bananas.
Yes.
All right, are we ready to get the main show going?
Absolutely.
Sure.
All right.
We are just going to jump right on into it.
I wanna reiterate this headline that I've just seen. It says, "Cleavage, heels, red hair, Crimson Countess looking dope. Good sign for The Boys season 3 still being worth watching."
I read that too. Oh,
No
shit.
complaints. I don't know if anybody has too many complaints about Crimson Cleavage, though.
None here.
I need a boing sound.
I'm looking forward to Jensen Echo Soldier Boy.
Yes.
Yes.
Soldier Boy up here.
I still need to finish The Boys Part 2.
Yes, you do,
Oh
Raul.
my god, yes.
Oh, well,
yes,
this headline was...
It's very explosive, Rob. It's very explosive.
I heard.
This
Your head will
headline
go
was
pop.
totally expected. Eternals won't have a theatrical release in Saudi Arabia due to the inclusion of gay relationship.
Of course.
Of course.
Saudi Arabia and a couple
wow.
other places, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Everywhere there's a foot forward, there's always a
Um,
foot backwards.
And my kid is in chat. Hey.
Nice.
Hello, Christine. Oh,
Bravo. Bravo is taking their show Desperate Housewives of Dubai.
That did not sound good.
I'm like,
that did not sound good. Can you retry that one more time or fail?
Andy
Abort
Cohen
re-
is saying that Dubai, like the original Housewives, they're all bashed. Like, really? You're going to Dubai? Like, good luck watching anything when it's edited. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
They're doing Dubai, Housewives of Dubai or something?
Real Housewives of Dubai. Andy
You
Cohen
mean the
is
real house?
Because you know the money there is absolutely insane, Greg, so...
Well, I mean, at this point, you're not really doing like... I mean, we all know the Real Housewives shit is done with extremely rich, like, women and couples. This is no different. It's just going to be so much more exposed as being fake bullshit.
Well, it's a reality show.
I mean,
The reality show.
this is going to be the one and only show in the Middle Eastern world where I'm pretty sure most of the women won't have face coverings.
That's probably true.
Because they're rich enough to get away with it.
Yeah, that's probably true.
All right, Justin, let's roll that countdown.
all right.
Alrighty. Let me.
I need
go with the
posters.
1 week before
Like
last
you guys.
because.
I got nothing. Let's roll it.
I just might have to keep
welcome
it.
to the Real Super Geeks podcast on this, the 5th of November, 2021. My name is Ross, live, love, play, the eyebrows of doom himself, and I welcome you back and to my co-hosts. Glad to see you all again, and glad to have another night of geekery and fun. Oh, it's been a day.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's been a day. We've got a couple hosts out tonight on a bit of a mental health break, so we wish them well and hope to see them back again soon. But in the meantime, we have our holdouts, our regulars, our always favorites, the freshest and babiest face of the group. It's Justin. How you doing this week?
I am doing pretty good. I said it's been a day. It's been a day. I woke to a meltdown on the Space Engineer server.
Yeah.
The Space Engineer server decided to go. Yeah, the Space Engineer server decided to melt down and go.
Oh no, he lost something.
I mean, that's just a perfect cap to this day being weird.
Right?
This has been a weird week, period.
Now that I can talk again, oh my freaking god! Today has just been weird all day. You know, I woke up to my buddy messaging me like, "Yeah, the server, all the mods have imploded and nothing is working and everything has been destroyed." So, you know, I've been
Sounds
dealing
like
with
Space
that.
Engineers.
Pretty much. Well, the server that I'm running has over 200 mods, and trying to keep them all working together, it's like a highly modded Minecraft server.
Yeah, exactly.
Any one thing can go wrong, and the whole thing can explode. So
That's why I tend to play close to vanilla games, because I the interaction between mods usually shuts down computers, does a lot of terrible things to computers.
It does if you don't know. If you don't know how to manage it, the way
That's
I've
true.
got it set up, like before anything happens, it's supposed to kill the server instantly. What happened was it set the server into an infinite reboot, and so hopefully now everything is good. You know, so yeah, it's been a interesting day, or I'd say the least, with everything going on with that and other stuff. So yeah, I've had fun.
How many fire alarms have you had today?
Oh, Jesus.
Why did you jinx it? There have not been any today. There have not been any today.
I think we're going to get disco lights by the end of this.
Yeah.
We had 5 yesterday.
Ooh.
And I swear, if we get one today, I'm leaving it unmuted for the entire thing just because you jinxed.
He is occasionally the voice of reason. It's Greg. How you doing tonight?
Occasionally. Doing good. As I was telling you guys earlier, been a hell of a day. Not just earlier, but my kiddo, poor thing, was up at 1 a.m. this morning. Apparently he was hungry, so we've been up since about, I want to say 4 a.m. Yeah, it's been a long day.
No, yeah, I mean, you were telling us about that one. Yeah, it's been a long day, too. It's been a long day for all of us here. Super Geeks.
All right, he is our stand-in resident boomer. It's Raul. How you doing tonight?
Hey, that's a terrible title.
Well, you're filling in for Carlos in that regard.
I mean, it's better than the Baul. So I mean, you know, boomer, Baul.
I don't know. It's only inches by that, but it's only give and take a little bit.
Okay, well, it's 25% different. Okay, it's 25% different than Baul. It's a boomer, so you're okay.
Okay, I'll take it, I guess. My day has been pretty okay. I've slept for most of the day. I took the third Moderna shot and the booster, and unfortunately what it did to me is just knocked me out during the day for the last 3 days.
Lucky.
Oh, you got the third shot?
I got the third shot. I'm in a high risk category.
Well, you know what they say, Raul. Third time's a charm.
Oh, no. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but I hope it doesn't mean anything bad.
Right?
Oh, and she's the token non-human of the group, and intergalactic, interstellar, and interdimensional traveler. It's Sun. How you doing, and where are you this week?
Hi, everybody. This week's been weird, and reading the Facebook chat, yeah, today's been weird. So,
I have rum.
Yeah.
I have rum.
I'm glad you have rum. At this point, I might need some potato rum.
I'll send some your way.
Anyway, it was such a hit last week. I thought, hey, why not keep up the thing and just,
Where's our fish lady?
change
Oh, very
everything.
nice.
Oh,
Hell yes.
very, very nice. Very nice.
That's the artwork Heath did for you, right?
That
or no, he did the
no,
3D
no.
rendering.
Heath did the 3D rendering. This
That's
is
right.
this is an artist friend that I have who did this one. Just a little quick sketch. So
Damn it, Greg. Yeah, okay. I just gotta stretch now.
I think that
Continue, son.
we have a few fans in the audience that just like to see Ross stretch. I don't know what that is.
If people will hurry up and
Maybe if I
and collect redeems, Ross can sing. So if you're over at Live Love Play and you sit in the chat over there and collect redeems, you can make Ross sing if you hold on to enough of them.
Oh, I do. I have enough points to make Ross sing twice.
See, this is a life goal. Make Ross sing for an entire podcast because of redeems.
I would not be able to do that. I would be hoarse and I would lose my voice.
Well,
There's some things we're willing to suffer through, Ross.
yes.
Hey,
you wouldn't have a look. If he goes hoarse, that means Greg has to be the show host, and I don't think anybody wants that.
No.
And I'd have to
We'll
switch
wind up
to
admitting that this
text-to-speech
show is
device.
terrible and quitting it.
All right. Well, I'm glad you all are doing well, despite the bizarrity of the last week. Just have us all staring at everything and just saying, bizarro.
Or in my case, why?
Yes,
Why?
Dia, just like the Emperor.
Why?
All right. Let's roll into the fun stuff. Star Trek Prodigy Episode 3. Since part 1, the first aired episode was a combination. And I've got my trusty coffee mug for this one.
There's
It
coffee
didn't magically
in that
appear.
So, when we left off, our intrepid youngsters had managed to just barely get their starship up and running and escape the prison mining settlement and venture out into the stars with no real idea of where to go. And an offhand comment for help materializes the Hollow Janeway, the training advisor for the Protostar. And this episode picks up immediately after, as everyone stares at this strange construct, not really understanding who she is, what her purpose is, and why she's there. She gives them
it's the bun of command that Janeway has.
Oh, and later the coffee mug of command.
Yeah, later, yeah.
Which literally appears out of freaking nowhere when she takes a sip of her coffee mug. A hollow Janeway taking a sip of coffee mug in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, okay.
Hollow
authentic.
Janeway is savvy enough to know that these kiddos are not Starfleet regulars. Determines that they are cadets. And gives them a brief rundown of what the Federation and Starfleet is, as well as the general idea of what the Protostar is meant for. Daz dismisses Hollow Janeway and begins to explore the ship with his companions, dropping off.
Not Daz.
Thank you. The names, and drops off the Diviner's daughter in the brig. As they explore, they find the communal living area. Dahl finds the captain's quarters. Pog and Rocktack find the galley and immediately order food and just chow down.
Pog champ!
It's probably one of the most endearing scenes of all. I really feel for Rocktack in this episode because she's looking over millions and millions of options, but the only food she's ever known is essentially the gruel from Oliver Twist,
which actually goes to show just how insane and evil the what's his face is.
Diviner.
For literally capturing all of these orphan children and just bringing them to a quote unquote prison colony.
Worse buying them, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's been
truly
doing.
a villain. I mean, I saw some comments about him early on about when the first episode aired, and he's misunderstood. I'm like, he captures children and puts them to work. How is he misunderstood?
Who the hell calls him misunderstood? It's pretty clear that he is about as evil as you can get without being mustache twirly.
So
he's just missing the mustache, but that's his.
Of all the issues I have with this guy, him paying for the kids is probably the lowest thing on the list because that's literally what happens in an adoption.
There's a difference in intent.
Oh no!
Intent is everything.
There's definitely a difference in intent and follow through, but in adoption, money still changes hands for a kid.
Okay, yes, but he pays for children to put them into slavery to mine the crystals that he needs to buy more labor and apparently he's got a big spooky cloaking ship, but we'll get to that. The main character,
Doll
immediately is very skeptical of how Janeway describes the Federation, having seen the galaxy very differently as a place where dog eat dog, big fish eat little fish, and he's determined to just take the ship on his own direction while stringing everybody else along. He's very charismatic, very, very talkative, but not exactly a very compassionate kid yet. We'll see how he grows over time. All these characters have a lot of room to grow. As Daz is settling into his palatial captain's quarters, the red alert clacks and sounds, and he's plotted a course into a pulsar, a white dwarf that is consuming a red giant.
Yep.
They have to figure out how to get out. All the efforts that they are making just compound the issue one after another, especially when Dahl decides to divert all power to the impulse engines, including shields.
See, don't you just love it when the little one is the dominant one? It's so hot.
Including
confirmed power bomb.
No.
Damn it, son.
No.
I'm telling you.
No. Bad, son. Bad.
Justin, find a bomb.
Yes, bad son for that comment.
I really think that Janeway knows more than she's letting on about these kids. She's just playing stupid.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, just the sheer gall of her blatant disregard for like their stuff. She's like, okay, you don't want my help. Bye.
Oh,
yeah. And she literally waits for the last fucking moment for them to when they literally have to ask for help or they're going to die. And she's like, okay, do this, that, and the other. And it's like, yeah, no, you're playing a really long game, huh, Janeway?
Oh, yeah.
You know what would not surprise me is if this is the actual Janeway using hollow pressure.
No.
We know it exists in this universe.
Let's finish this.
No, George, no.
Anyway, let Ross finish.
So, as I was saying, they divert all power to impulse engines, including shields, including the Brig force field, and several other systems.
A little weird.
In an effort to lighten the load to find a way out, they decide to jettison everything that isn't nailed down, including escape pods. I'm sure that's not going to be relevant later on.
I'd also like to point out the weird thing in all of this. They said to divert all power and still had life support. That's weird.
There's probably a safety system to keep them from diverting life support.
You would think there would be a safety system to keep them from diverting the fucking Brig power.
At the same time, as we said, Janeway does seem to be a bit more savvy than she's letting on, so she diverted everything but life support.
Okay, I'll give it that. She probably that's probably the one thing she had a hand in, not killing them.
She's a good teacher. She knows when to directly interfere and when to just kind of nudge them in the right
Not blow the
direction,
ship up.
as we'll get to.
I like
the progeny
so
escapes from
I think
the brig, tries to get out the escape pods, but discovers our big answer for why Voyager probably never ran out of shuttlecraft: the vehicle replicator.
Yep.
And she
it would also
immediately
explain how they never seem to run out of fucking torpedoes too.
possibly.
I mean, okay, we always theorize
a torpedo is a vehicle for a weapon.
we always theorize that shuttles could be printed, but this is like this, hey, okay. All right.
I do. Okay, so I think Ross, you mentioned Janeway not intentionally not diverting power from life support. I think also Janeway meddled in the launching of the escape pods too, because just as the progeny was getting to each escape pod, that's when it would launch.
We got a nice little fight scene between Rocktack and the progeny, which was very well done amid the slowly replicating shuttlecraft.
Which looked like a 3D printer making something.
Yes. With
I love that look that they're doing with that now, especially the replicators. They use Picard replicators. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm. Well, the replicators, as seen in Star Trek Picard, were actually 3D printers. They use 3D printers as props.
I love it.
But in the course of the fight, artificial gravity is disabled. And in this final moment of despair, when Dahl thought he had everything under control and he finally realized that he was completely out of it, he asks Janeway for help. She gives him a snarky remark, gives a sip of coffee.
He's waiting all night to do that.
Directing everyone to do exactly what they need to do to get an idea of how to escape, until finally Zero knows what they need to do. They cut all power, they ride the wave and power through the dying red giant to finally escape.
I think Janeway was meddling here too, possibly, because if you watch that scene when he finally asks for help and the entire events that follow, Janeway is taking her sweet ass time in what everybody has been talking about, the censors saying was literally imminent doom. And Janeway's just taking her sweet ass time to savor the moment. It's like, oh, she's made the censors look like it was actually a whole hell of a lot worse, a whole hell of a lot sooner.
And in that moment, as they are all savoring their sweet escape and tasting the wonderful joys of life they almost lost, they realize that maybe they should trust this hologram just a little bit more and ask her to instruct them on the ways of the ship, to which she replies, "We've only just begun."
Bond of command. Bond of command.
The cup of command. The cup. The cup is mightier than a bun.
Say during the synopsis. Why don't you lead us off on what you thought of the episode?
I am in love with Prodigy. This is what I wanted out of Star Trek. And I know it seems all geared towards kids, and for the most part it is, but this is what Star Trek has always been. Even we always talk about the human exploration, and yet at the same time these are alien children who are not even just, I mean, it's not even that they're just experiencing the Federation for the first time. They're experiencing life outside of what they knew for the first time. And that's what Star Trek has kind of always been. Not this constant doom or gloom, universe-threatening danger every season that we've gotten out of Discovery. And
sure, technobabble.
Well, I mean, the technobabble, I mean, I'll be honest. I love the fact that these kids absolutely have no fucking clue how to do anything on the ship. It reminds me of Message in a Bottle. It reminds me of several other episodes where it's like, what the hell do all these buttons do? And yet at the same time, I can't help but be just like, I can't help but have the same smirk Janeway has when she explains something like to Pog, and she's like, yeah, no, the firing systems are automatic, but you get to push the button.
Jankum Pog likes pushing buttons.
Apparently. And apparently they have something that's even more than just 2 warp cores.
2 warp cores and a mysterious central engine device.
Yeah, makes me wonder.
That's probably tied to that extended nacelle in the
Third
center.
nacelle.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that it's tied to the nacelle. I think the nacelle is actually a byproduct of fulfilling whatever this thing does.
Yeah.
Whether it's like
That's
super
true.
slipstream or something.
I'm thinking Sleepstream Core from the looks of it. It's by the shape. Zero seemed to be intrigued by the shape of it. So
I
think what Son is touching on is that I'm so sorry but the last few episodes, last few attempts at Star Trek have forgotten the fun of Star Trek, and this one fully grasps onto the fun of Star Trek. And yes, Ross is pretty hilarious.
No. I made this point earlier in our Facebook chat. This episode, you can sum it up as, oh God, we're all gonna die. You guys, they found the fun again.
Yeah, basically. Well, it's danger is fun. Look at Jurassic Park. The kids were in danger for 5 minutes straight.
Well,
they got electrocuted. Some dinosaur almost stomped them down. But it was a fun ride. At least it wasn't happening to us.
This reminds me of this. This actually reminds me of Timeless, the episode Timeless from Voyager, and not in the Voyager's been frozen, everybody's dead, doom and gloom. It's more the end of Timeless, where Kim is listening to his future self from another world, another dimension, talk about the events that he's just changed, and Kim's like, am I making any sense? What the hell is temporal shit? Like, what the hell is all this temporal shit I'm talking about? And Janeway goes, weirdest part of the job. That's the fun of Star Trek.
I mean, okay, you know, Lower Decks
next to this one.
I mean, Lower Decks is, you know, it's okay, it's what it is. But Prodigy has that nice mix where they don't go over the top. They don't try to force it in your face. You know, they have found a happy medium to kind of merge.
Well,
both worlds.
And the idea of being a launching point for new fans is brilliant. I mean, we needed this so badly with all the very serious stuff that was coming out of the studios. Picard, Discovery, Enterprise was very serious in its tone most of the time. You know, it's such a nice launching point for new fans. And I think they've forgotten new fans along the way.
See, I look at Lower Decks, and as much as it's got that Rick and Morty vibe, and I can't stand the art style in the first place, I never wanted Star Trek The Simpsons, and that's what that feels to me.
That's right.
I thought it felt more Family Guy than Simpsons.
That's even worse.
I mean,
it really does.
At least Family Guy made me laugh. The Simpsons has always kind of made me just scoff at jokes, and that's what
compliment to Orville.
I mean, I like the Orville, so what's the problem?
Suck it, Justin.
I'm not a big fan of the Orville, but it's okay.
All right,
we can all have different. Back to the show.
Back to Prodigy. There's this giant fucking sphere in between 2 warp cores, which means they need a massive fucking amount of power.
Yeah, a ship that size having 2 warp cores, I mean, that's just crazy. So that tells me, one, it takes that much power just to run the transwarp core by itself.
It's a deep exploration ship, is what it tells me. From
here's something. Here's my observation of the Protostar that I forgot to mention last week. But who else got some serious Normandy vibes from the Protostar?
Nope. You know what I got from that ship?
What's that?
Odyssey class vibes, especially the bridge. Especially the bridge.
It's very small.
You know what?
This can't be bigger than a Nova class.
The Aquarius has the same bridge. The little detachable ship has the same bridge as the Odyssey, and it's much smaller. So
that's true. That's true.
I mean, it reminds me more of a Nova class, maybe maybe a offshoot of that one.
Well, as far as I've seen so far, the Protostar doesn't have any turbo lifts.
Yeah, it's all
connected by stairways.
We also so I forgot to mention this last week. We were lied to. We expected a ship somewhere between the Raven and the La Serena in size, and what we got was something much bigger.
It's a lot bigger, but still one of the smallest Starfleet ships that we've seen in the series so far.
Absolutely. I mean, it's more on par with a Nova class almost.
Even the La Serena,
it's smaller than the Nova.
I'm pretty sure it has a smaller profile, yes, but it seems to be on par with the interior size that we saw from the Equinox.
Yeah, the profile is smaller, but
it only looks to be about 3, maybe 4 decks.
And then you gotta remember they're also they're literally hiding a third nacelle in the back half of the fucking hull too. So
I gotta figure out where's the damn shuttle bay at if they have the nacelle.
That's where the deflector typically is.
Like even
the shuttle bay.
Ship. This is why I think the Medusan is playing stupid in all this, because even the Medusan is like, yeah, no, this is a ship that has enough. This ship needs a crew of at least 20 people to run, or 32 appendages.
Yeah.
Here's a question: is the Medusan an adult, or is the Medusan a child as well?
The Medusan's age is unknown.
Yeah, that's why I figured as much. They're typically immortal because they're energy beings, right?
They are incorporeal, yes.
Gotcha.
I don't know if they're immortal, but yeah, they're definitely incorporeal.
But yeah, the way the ship is laid out with that big open bridge with a fairly open interior space connected mostly by stairs, and that launch bay right at the bottom, I can't help but feel like this thing's was built
also
after the Normandy.
You guys are mistaken. There is a single turbo lift.
Okay.
That single because they use it like more than once to go to the brig.
That's right.
Which would make sense if you have one to go between decks, but yeah, it's also much easier to get around on that than
so
it probably won't be Normandy.
Back to our round table. Justin, what did you think of the episode?
It was absolutely awesome. The way they opened it up, Dal is definitely starting to grow. I love how they blended everything together. It's not as cheesy as Lower Decks is. Lower Decks is good. I like it for what it is, but I mean, it does have some very cheesy moments. And that's what Lower Decks is. This is Star Trek geared to bring new and old kids back into the fray, and I'm really happy they've gone the route that they did with this. I hope this is the blueprint that they now use for future shows, to where this is how well it's received. Hopefully now they're going to realize, hey, look, this is what fans want. Yeah, you can have the serious stuff, but you have to mix this stuff in with it too. That's just the way Star Trek always has been, a mix of lighthearted fun, serious situations, and adventure. That's what Star Trek is. You don't need all of the drama that some of the other shows have had here recently. It feels like it's finally found its footing again, and I'm really excited to see what Prodigy brings going forth. And apparently there's more stuff in the works.
Well, it feels a lot like what Roddenberry said about the original Star Trek. He said it was a wagon train to the stars,
Mhm.
and this feels
Very
a lot
much
like
so.
that. This
Very
feels
much.
very much like this, So
Yeah, very much does. I mean, this is this is a story of a Star Trek story we should have had a long time ago. I mean, non-Federation members discovering what the Federation is. I mean, this is the Academy movie, the Academy series that people have been wanting. That's not an Academy series, but it's not. I mean, they're doing this as a perspective they've never tried before. This is what you should do with Star Trek. It's all about doing things never done before, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Very interesting that you guys are latching on to a series that essentially has no direct ties to Starfleet.
Exactly. Well, I mean,
it's
that's the
not
appeal.
it's not that it doesn't. It's that it's taking us on the journey of a fresh perspective, and I
Yeah.
think we all needed it after the deep dives of Picard and Discovery.
It's the perspective of it that's appealing. It's it would be like if one of us had got thrown into that universe for the first time. We had to discover what was going on. That's what this show feels like, and it's kind of nice. I'm surprisingly enjoying it. I thought maybe I wasn't as much because of the way it was supposed to be geared, but it's turning out to be one of my favorites so far. So I can't wait to see what's next.
Thank you, Justin. Greg, you've been pretty quiet. What'd you think of this episode?
I was waiting for everybody to get it out of their system. I did love the episode. Prodigy is, like I said last week, it's doing everything right. It's doing Trek right, and I don't want to say Lord
What?
Justin, but no. There's one of the things I love about Prodigy is that everybody's been saying Lower Decks is Trek at its purest. No, Prodigy is Trek at its purest. Like everybody, we all agree, we're getting from a fresh perspective. We're getting it not just from a fresh perspective. We're getting it from a kid's perspective, essentially, a youth perspective. We probably easily assume Gwen is probably adulthood for her species. Dahl is considerably probably up there too, and of course Zero is probably thousands of years old for all we know. But if you speak Murph's language, Murph is the oldest. I'm just throwing it out there. But Dahl was definitely overzealous in this episode. Like, I get he's cautious, but when everybody, including Gwen, is like, "Hey, we should listen to Janeway," he's like, "No, turn her off. We're not listening to Janeway." It's like, and even Janeway's like, "Okay, bye."
That's not him being cautious though. Like even in the first episode, he wasn't cautious. He was like extremely fucking reckless. Like the dude literally stole like a fucking hoverlift to try and escape the atmosphere of a fucking like penal asteroid.
And
in a thing that really wouldn't be a spaceship.
Son just wanted to say penal asteroid.
Yeah,
by the way.
Son just wanted to say penal.
Roll bunk.
It's not untrue.
See, Son wanted to say penal. Bunk, take back.
But overall, the episode really got into Rock Talk. I mean, that scene hit a little bit harder than I expected it to. Jankum Pog knows exactly what he wants from Replicator, and Jane was like, "Hey, you can pick basically from all. We have an entire Federation menu, so your roster out like millions of dishes." And Rock just sits there, orders the food, and even Pog is like, "Really?" And she's like, when she says the only food I've ever known, I'm like, that is deep and dark. That's sad. And I'm hoping she's gonna have eyes open more in the show because Paul's visiting the stars. Gwen has had a broader perspective, even though her dad's evil. She's been able to see more. So it's like, Rock Talk is really gonna be the winner of this one next to Murph. And if
she's
Murph
the heart of
the
show. Rock Talk is the heart of the show.
Yeah.
If Murph would shut up, he would stop spoiling the episode. And this time, I will say this: he didn't talk a lot this episode. He was trying to eat the captain's chair and a couple other things, so he wasn't talking a lot. I think they finally got on him about that. My favorite part of the episode, though, was Janeway popping on, and as I believe they're freaking out, it was of course beginning of the episode. Um, she was drinking her coffee, and I'm like, it's the typical silver mug. I was just a little disappointed. It didn't have the dent in it, so it wasn't her favorite coffee mug. It was not her mug.
Well, the design was season 1, so it was the
Yes.
coffee mug before the dent.
But I'm with the double warp core in that it's got to be leading to that third nacelle in some sort of slipstream transwarp drive. And Jenkum Pog clearly knows his way around an engineering session, so he's probably gonna figure it out here soon. Just gonna come around, he'll probably get out of there soon.
Ouch.
I think one will come around, but the diviner launching his ship from the planet, and then it's all basically so much as saying engage the cloak is like, oh, so now you can't see it.
He's
No,
got
okay,
a
so this
giant
is-
evil flying fortress
So
with a cloaking device derived from the
Yes.
crystals they've been mining.
So here's the other thing, though. I don't think that this was as much as they showed us. I don't think it was well explained in their showing. It's not his ship that disappears. It's the entire
It's a planet.
asteroid.
Yeah, the
It
asteroids
launched
wasn't
from
close.
the asteroid.
Right. His ship is literally separated from the asteroid, and then it's the asteroid that cloaks.
I thought
Yeah,
they were
okay.
looking up at the ship as it
as
as it
it
dissolved
cloaks.
from view.
Cloaks as it.
Yeah, but as the ship is pulling away from the asteroid, you see the asteroid is disappearing,
So they're both
not the
cloaked
ship.
like that. So then they're
So
both.
probably from the perspective, the ship is the one that's cloaking, but it's really the asteroid's being hidden away from everybody else.
The
I-
asteroid is naturally invisible because of
be.
those
It would make
crystals.
sense. It would make
Okay.
sense.
That's
makes
why they
sense.
couldn't find the protostar.
And my thing with the protostar is the ship. It's a great design of the ship. It's definitely got to be some sort of training ship. And Justin, I was mad at Justin for this. I said this earlier. I was mad at Justin because he went on. He's all Robert Beltran's in the rest of the season. Well, guess who we didn't see? We didn't see Robert Beltran. My guess is so. Again, this is still a George theory, and we just got through this third episode. I really want to say this because oh my god, I forgot the line they mentioned. But the ship, I think the ship was Chakotay's, and that he is.
I said
either-
this.
But you also said Robert Beltran would be in this episode. Fire. But I agree with Justin that it could be Chakotay's ship and either dead or maybe prisoner. That's what happened. That's what the Diviner's looking for it. And also a little tidbit, if I can remember correctly, I actually started going back through the wiki, looking at all the episode synopsis from all 800 episodes of Trek.
You poor thing.
I believe this was the first canonical reference that the Beta Quadrant was ever mentioned in Star Trek. Because when Janeway says we encompass the Alpha and Beta Quadrants, that's never technically been said. It's always been Alpha Quadrant or Delta Quadrant or Gamma. The Beta has actually never, to my knowledge, been mentioned in the show.
It has. It has.
It
DS9
tangentially in
DS9, TNG did once or twice.
TNG never mentioned the Beta Quadrant.
yeah, although it took place TOS and TNG took place primarily within the Beta Quadrant. DS9 took place primarily in Alpha Quadrant because that's where Cardassia, Bajor, and the Wormhole are.
Right. The Romulan and Klingon empires, the Federation encompasses a little bit of the Beta Quadrant, most of the Alpha, but Romulan and Klingon territory are very clearly Beta Quadrant territories.
Starfleet, the Federation is mostly Beta Quadrant as well.
It's like
With some of its frontiers in the Alpha Quadrant.
The best way to describe it would be the Federation is kind of like Texarkana. It's just a little town literally on the state lines between Texas and Arkansas. And if Texarkana so decided, it could claim to be part of one state or the other, and that's kind of what the Federation is doing. It's claiming to be all of its territory to be part of the Alpha Quadrant.
Okay, let's give the Federation a little bit more credit. Let's call them Kansas City. Let's go with that.
Which one,
Oh
Kansas
my
or
God.
Missouri?
Well, exactly. They can call either one.
They can do that because, like Greenwich, England,
Yes.
Earth sits on the Alpha Beta divider.
So, but it was a great little reference to finally see something like that. That there's actually, Janeway says like, yeah, the Alpha Beta Quadrants. But as she's giving her lesson, then it's like, no, we're doing this. And yes, I love Ross's description. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Prodigy is getting more fun for me. I absolutely love the show. I genuinely hope it continues to be this good the rest of the season, and just leading on to. I just want more Janeway. I want to know. I'm not so much interested why the Diviner wants the Protostar. I'm more interested in why the Protostar is in the Delta Quadrant, because they specifically said it was meant to be there in so many words. Janeway implied it's supposed to be in the Delta Quadrant. So she says, I'm going to help you guys get back to the Federation in so many words, implying, okay, it's supposed to be here. Now let's go home. So that's kind of what I think.
Which it makes me kind of wonder, because, they were all very gung-ho about non-interference and not getting involved in local politics. And then, here, now suddenly you have this highly advanced ship just sitting there for anybody to grab. That's why I'm thinking, we're going to hear more of the Protostar story here soon.
Through probably through like Doll or Zero, somebody's going to just accidentally activate a captain's log, and it's going to be Chakotay. Hopefully, I'm hoping it was Chakotay's ship. Like he was, this was in an episode of Voyager, wasn't confirmed, but like where they were in that wormhole alien. It's like, he was offered a position to teach at the academy. I wouldn't be surprised if he's an instructor at the academy.
And that would make sense, is why there's a Janeway hologram on board. Because who better to help Chakotay mentor a bunch of kids than his mentor, Janeway?
Right.
But you're assuming that what the telepathic picture plant actually projected really happened, though.
No,
that's a huge fucking leap.
Son. Just a second. The reason I'm saying that is because Lower Decks toyed with that. Lower Decks is thrown in. Commander Shelby was not canon, or Captain Shelby was not canon but they got it from a book and threw it into the show with Lower Decks. So they could easily just go back into an episode of Voyager, like, yeah, it was a picture plant giving false memories. But then, hey, how do we know Chakotay wouldn't be an instructor at the academy after this long voyage? So it wouldn't surprise me if this was his training ship and an untimely, unfortunate thing happened and they're all dead or alive in prison or something. Because the Ks are clearly acting as a bounty hunter or children hunter for the Diviner.
I'm going to go the book route instead of the telepathic picture plant route. This is literally a Federation experimental craft, period.
Right.
And just like the Prometheus, some shit went wrong. And who better to have commanding that ship than a Starfleet intelligence operative, one Chakotay, Captain Chakotay.
Okay, I mean that's a plausible theory.
Because
they did the full circle thing in the book. So
I mean, even blind people are getting the information that this ship goes faster than normal warp. Period. So, yeah, on something like a ship like this, which looks like it might be using an adapted version of the Dauntless ship from Voyager.
Which makes sense considering the deflector up front.
Right.
Yeah,
and Voyager studied it non-fucking stop before they tried to use it. So the Federation experimenting with something like the Dauntless would make total fucking sense.
And the fact that the ship has 2 warp cores would also make sense, because you have a primary, a backup, and you have extra power to help power the slipstream core.
Let's get back to the roundtable. Raul hasn't told us about his thoughts on the episode yet.
Well, I didn't see the episode this week because unfortunately I've been sleeping after my booster shot. So it totally knocked me out, and I thought I would have time to see it, but apparently sleep called all the time. So, but it didn't. To be honest, from what I've heard from you guys, it didn't surprise me as much as I would have expected. The course of the way the story's laying out. I'll give a prediction. I think Star Trek: The Federation is no longer present in the universe. I'm leaning towards that direction because this might be a relic ship from before.
Raul, not to correct you on that one, but this show is taking place 1 year before the Lower Decks timeline.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, that's okay.
it's
So
fine.
this show is happening basically at the same time as Lower Decks. They're just in the.
I just thought it would be
an
an interesting plot for these kids to become the next generation of Starfleet.
You're
It
probably
would
not wrong
also-
on that point. It's just that the
it would-
ship has been in the Delta Quadrant. This Federation is still around.
Well, see, to Raul's credit, it would also explain why there are so many Alpha Quadrant species in the Delta Quadrant. Not because
Yes.
the Alpha Quadrant went back to the Delta Quadrant, but simply because the caretaker has literally absconded so many fucking ships at this point. Yeah, some Alpha Quadrant species are going to be stuck in the Delta Quadrant and have had to have made a life enough for there to be orphans in the Delta Quadrant.
All right. So, where to go from here? I'm blanking hard.
It's okay. So come
Hold
on,
on,
Ross. You're
hold on,
learning.
Raul.
Hold on.
Raul is doing his best Dreadnought impression right now as Jimmy Simpson. He's just there in the dark.
See, that's the other thing that I want to talk about. Okay, so we've had the robot dude, the
Dreadnought.
Dreadnought.
General Grievous looking thing, but then the entirety of the
With
guys,
the arm cannon.
but then we have the entirety of that guy's fucking ship, and it reminds me so much of the Baul stuff from Discovery.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Say it ain't so,
You're
son.
gonna
My
you're a
namesake.
pert growl up here.
Triggered Raul.
My namesake.
all the
You know the
Edgelord black
Bauls
and
could
red.
come back.
By the sounds of things, they eventually integrate with the Kelpians.
They do, but who knows? There could be splinters.
It's a splintered bowel.
So yeah, the first two episodes, the action was all around Dreadnought, that menacing ant robot life form, a hint of animosity between him and the Diviner, his shrouded nature up until the end, where he reveals himself to this badass wicked warbots that's apparently just a bigger version of the little drones that he controls everywhere. And then we finally get the look at the Diviner and his role in this series, how he's going to be chasing them in his massive, wicked-looking, spiky-bit warship that cloaks.
And the guy himself goes from being Mr. Freeze's wife to being Bane.
Yeah. What is that fluid he was suspended in? What is it that and that he still needs it, where he's pumping it into his veins?
Well, it's simple, Ross. It's a Bacta tank.
Damn it, son! You beat me
Oh
to
God.
it.
Damn it, son. Stealing all the best jokes.
I was about to say that too, but I didn't want to interrupt you. I was
Damn it. Damn it, son. You read mine in Greg's mind, apparently.
Oh boy.
Stop it! It's dirty in there.
Exactly. It's a scary place.
Look,
It's
their
really
minds,
some sort of-
their minds are clean compared to some of the shit that I've seen.
My mind is
it-
not
it's-
clean, trust me.
It's obviously clearly
Anyway.
some sort of healing tank that he had sitting there, but the question is, why is he in there? Which is going to, of course, lead to why he wants the protostar. So hopefully that's why.
And why, as mad as he got, why the fuck did he break his own fucking tank?
He was pissed.
Oh,
He
sure.
really wanted that ship.
Sure, but dude literally comes out of the tank. He doesn't have the little things in him, and then in episode 2 he does, and it's like, dude, you were so mad you literally broke your own fucking containment and had to have emergency surgery to put tubes in you.
Dudes do stupid
he's
stuff
definitely
when they're
weird.
mad, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any. Oh, we lost on for a second.
No, I'm still here.
Okay,
So,
good.
Anyone's
Maybe it
final
was just
thoughts
me.
on this episode?
Fucking fantastic. I cannot wait till next week. And then I want more.
as
Oh,
much
hey,
as
we can say this in regards to Star Trek now. Is it Thursday yet?
yes. I will say this. I will give so far. I will give both the episodes 8 out of 10. Hungry Baby Grogu's. The only reason though I will never. The only reason I will never give an episode a 10 out of 10 is if Murph doesn't talk. Then I will give the episode a 10 out of 10.
Hey, it's not Hungry Baby Grogu's. It's Hungry Murph's.
Okay, fine. Hungry Murphs. There we go. New rating system.
There you go. Murph
Lane
is best boy.
disapproves.
Hungry Murphs. When did this become RoboCop?
Oh, no baby food. All right.
I have to say that I'm eager to watch this story play out. Absolutely.
I want to play this.
I haven't felt that from Star Trek in a while. I kind of got it with Picard. Picard was all right, but it was other people's excitement that kept me excited about Picard. This is keeping me excited all by itself.
The fun part about this Tonight Show is usually Sun doesn't watch it, and she goes off of our reviews. Tonight, Sun saw it, and Raul didn't, so they swapped roles tonight.
Raul, your final thoughts?
I am also looking forward to seeing how the story plays out. I have big guesses, but unfortunately, some of them have been wrong already. So it's fine. It's fine. I'm very excited to see the universe unfold for these kids and how they react to it, because they all seem like genuinely nice people, just trapped in a very terrible situation, which is kind of like life, and that's how we view ourselves in life. So I think that there's a lot of parallel there.
Speaking of parallel, Greg, you've done this.
That was that was really quick, Justin.
I know.
All right, Greg, your final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I love the episode. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season. Like we all are. I would just love that one of our theories be correct. Like, is it Chakotay's ship? Was it a caretaker thing? Something along those lines. Or something just completely out of left field. Like, blow us away that Janeway lost the ship. Something like that. But I'm looking forward to it. Prodigy did for me what TNG did for me for Star Trek. Like, TNG, for all its flaws and Encounter Farpoint, gave us that awe factor. And DS9 didn't do it because it was on a space station. Voyager kind of did it with the caretaker. And then, of course, Enterprise got too serious. Disco was flat out war. So Prodigy gave us this kid looking at the stars, wanting a better life, and then bam, they're on the fly. So Prodigy is really, really doing well.
All right.
I think that Prodigy best emboldens people that say fortune favors the bold. I think that the whole series is based on it.
I continue to stand by my statements before the premiere that Prodigy is and will continue to be a breath of fresh air that we have all been wanting. I'm still a fan of the other shows. I think they all have their merit, and I like that we are getting different Star Trek shows for different kinds of fans. Each of these shows strive to be distinct from one another, and I think that is a good thing. And the fact that Prodigy is getting such broad appeal is fantastic, and I'm very glad for that. And I'm very glad to see where it goes from here.
You mean fantastic?
Oh, son.
Bum.
Somebody
That's a
mute
bad
that.
joke.
That's
That's
a
terrible.
That will conclude our discussion on Prodigy, and we have a little bit of sad news to cap off our Star Trek news for this week, and that is the news that Camille Saviola, the actress who played Kai Opaka from Deep Space Nine, passed away this week.
Okay,
The best Kai.
Ross.
Justin, I corrected myself.
But yes,
Bonk.
I corrected myself.
She was an
You
amazing
still did it.
Greg, you are breaking up terribly
Greg.
today.
Will you stop downloading the porn, man?
You're as bad as I used to be.
Yeah, it's all about streaming now.
How's this? Is that better?
It's not that you're too far away from your mic; it's that your connection seems a little.
It's like you're roboting, and you've been doing it off and on all night.
Okay, so it's not okay. Well, somebody go talk about.
So, Camille, who the actress who played Kai Opaka, had a significant impact on Deep Space Nine and her portrayal of the character in that first season. She was an incredible presence and set a really interesting tone for the Bajoran faith and the Bajoran people. The reverence that that her character commanded, and the quiet dignity and calm strength that was a remarkable contrast to the character that we got in the eventual Kai Wynn.
And she was a fucking collaborator.
Wait.
There's an entire episode where Kai Wynn is trying to pin the destruction of the death of Kai Opaka's son on the other guy, the guy Kira is in love with. Come to find out, it was Kai Opaka that gave up her own son in the location of those rebels.
Crispy. She was doing it to save other people, wasn't she?
Yeah, there was an ulterior motive behind that.
Sure, but it makes her a collaborator.
It makes her a person in power, though, son. That's actually a great description of people in power. You usually have to sacrifice something in order to save something else.
No, I don't disagree with that at all. My point is, up until that point, Kira, who's been in command the whole like in her own little world of command of what is good, what is evil, what is a collaborator, what is not, and to come and find out that Kai Opaka crossed that line and became a collaborator. That's something that sits with Kira for like a long fucking time.
Yeah, she venerated Opaka. And it was through her influence that the Bajoran people were able to unite and not descend into civil war at the end of the occupation. And of course, the ascension of Benjamin Sisko to be the emissary. But it was a sad moment at the actress's passing. Our condolences to her family, her loved ones, and I hope that she.
What an impact she had on our viewing of that series. She, very few people commanded that level of gravitas on that show.
Like I just, it's a shame that Cryptic was not able to pull her for its Gamma Quadrant expansion, because there's an entire episode dedicated to her, and I really wish that they had pulled her in, but they used one of their regular voice talent to do it.
Yeah, it's give and take. All right. Moving on from Star Trek, we have some interesting movie news for this week, and that is that Boondocks, the action thriller about two vigilante brothers who go on a murder spree of the worst crime bosses in the greater Boston area, is getting a second sequel. Boondocks 3 has been confirmed with the original cast and director. That includes the now quite famous Mr. Norman Reedus.
Yes.
Whose fame from The Walking Dead and from the game Death Stranding.
Hopefully he does better than the Walking Dead sequels have.
So, what do you guys think about this? Let's start with Raul.
Well, Walking Dead to me was not a good series. And I know it's extremely popular, and I know it's award-winning, but to me, it seemed like a soap opera with guns. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that portrayal, because sci-fi needs to be broad and appeal to a lot of people. But I never a big fan. However, the other series that he did, help me out, Ross.
Oh, the Death Stranding. It was a game by
Death
Hideo
Stranding,
Kojima.
yes. The Death Stranding is a genius game. It has a lot to say. Now, a lot of people have told me that it's the director's entry into Hollywood. It's sort of his resume. In other words, but I feel it's actually quite a good standing on its own. Oh God.
It's rubbing off on you.
Oh, it is. It is.
Raw, it's
Is
okay.
a third sequel to Boondock Saints something that interests you?
No, God, no. The first one was the genius move. The second one was purely made to get more hookers with coke. And the third one will be trash. Will be trash. I'm almost
Justin,
certain.
that was really quick again.
On the ball.
Right?
The second one, as I understand it, had a couple of the original actors, but not the same director. This is getting the same director as the original. Does that not?
That helps. That helps. I mean, I'll give it a shot because hell, I'll give everything a shot once. So.
Alrighty. Thank you, Raul. Son, how about you?
I think Alec Baldwin gave everything a shot once.
Oh,
son.
Justin.
Pure gold, Justin. Thank you.
You are on the ball tonight. Wow.
He's literally got he's got an entire list with the buttons right there ready to go.
You seem to be doing really good for having been tortured all week. Maybe we got to torture you more. See?
Mm.
Hold
right,
on, we're
Boondock
having some
Saints
trouble with Greg. We're having some trouble with Greg.
He's rebooting.
That's
So,
great.
that's my avatar.
For me, bro.
So, I have. Oh boy, here we go. I've never seen.
Wait
Boondock Saints.
for it.
Okay.
Oh, Greg had to reboot his dial-up.
Okay, so you haven't seen the original.
Apparently, he lives in my neck of the woods.
I've never seen the Boondock Saints before, so this is not really something that I'm interested in. But I think, honestly, it makes sense at this point. We're coming off of the success of Bill and Ted 3, which actually was a really good success for Hollywood for a second sequel. And well, it's not just that. It's a sequel, a good sequel following a bad sequel.
Yeah, because Bill and Ted 2 sucked.
Bill and Ted 2 had all those fucking foam clothes in the future university. Remember that? That was
It was all. I just try
fucking
not to
thing.
remember it, son. It was such a misery.
And not only do we have the success of Bill and Ted 3 off of 2 and it being years later as well, we're getting this new Ghostbusters that's set years later after Ghostbusters 2 and after like a weird gender swap version of Ghostbusters that, I mean, like it's a movie, you know.
But the next one coming up looks great with the children.
And this, you know, this further down the line sequel movie looks like it's going to be good. So it would only make sense that Hollywood would be okay. Let's set all of these properties years later with as much of the original cast as we can, and make a you know a new film off of it. So,
Hence the Matrix 4.
I
5.
well, no, it's 4.
Or Matrix Cash Grab.
We'll see. We'll see.
It's literally rebooting the Matrix as well.
I don't think that Keanu would do it just for the cash. He doesn't seem like a person like that.
But I think this is Hollywood going, okay, we've tried doing all of these other weird reboot things, But this looks like the reboot thing that is working. Let's go with that. And I think that's what's happening here. It might. I would assume. I would assume it turns out to be at least a half decent, if not fully decent, Boondock Saints movie for those who are fans. But like I said, I've never seen any of those movies, so I kind of don't have an interest in it.
Okay.
Now, a Matrix movie without Keanu Reeves would be
Justin, what do you think about this news?
I think it's great. I thought Boondocks was okay. Am I a big, huge fan? No, but I'm kind of liking the direction that Hollywood is now finally taking. Be like, hey, this is how you need to do sequels and not do the bullshit prequel stuff you've been trying to throw down our throats for the last few years because one thing worked. No, not all of it. Everything had to be a prequel or a redo or a. Please, this is what. Please, this is how you honor the original. Don't give us Ghostbusters 2016. Give us shit like this. That's all I got to say on it.
Thank you, Justin. Greg.
And shepherds we shall be. I absolutely love the first. I love the first one. Willem Dafoe is always a win in my book, and I absolutely loved him in the movie originally. Boondock Saints is my introduction to Norman Reedus way before Walking Dead. It's like that. It's like those memes. It's like, this is how I met Paul Bettany, and then it shows Vision. It's like how you met Paul Bettany. It's like, I knew who Norman Reedus was because of Boondock Saints. I wasn't too big a fan of the sequel. It was more of a meh. It was more meh. But as Son was pointing out, like the similarities of like Bill and Ted 3. We now have Ghostbusters 3 coming out. With the original whole casting back, means we're not just getting Norman Reedus as a buddy. We're getting Willem Dafoe. We're getting the original director. So there's a lot of originality coming into a movie that's probably going to take place present day. And I just want to hear, like how in Ghostbusters we want to hear the siren of the Ecto-1, or in Bill and Ted we want to hear "Party on, dudes." With Boondock Saints we want to hear the prayer again. It's just those kind of things. So I'm very optimistic. Norman Reedus' star power is definitely going to help this movie now. And it's definitely one I'm going to go. I probably won't see it in the theaters. Not typically something I would see, but I'm definitely going to be one of those ones that's going to rent it, buy it, and be able to sit down and enjoy it like I did with Bill and Ted. So I'm looking forward to it.
Greg, with all these sequels coming out now, it's going to be only a matter of time until we get another Wayne's World.
Oh, okay. Not so fun fact on that one. Dana Carvey and Mike Myers will never work together again. They actually not hate each other, but they will not work together again. So there is no Wayne's World 3.
Money talks.
Money talks, but what also talks? Mike Myers' horrible track record in movies. I don't think
Mike Myers has terrible track record with movies lately. Since 10 years have been abysmal.
Love Guru killed his career.
Adam Sandler. So Mike Myers can claw his way back. Because Adam Sandler
had his own production company, though, son. I don't think Mike Myers has his own production company. If I'm mistaken,
I don't think that Adam Sandler's production company was in charge of the Hotel Transylvania series.
Oh, that's true. I'm not sure if it was either. It's Happy Gilmore, if you know that company,
right? And I know that's what I'm saying. Like, Adam Sandler has a track record with his own production company of floppy ass movies, and yet he's gotten that stardom again because of Hotel Transylvania.
Well, applying to children is an age old thing. Eddie Murphy did it when his career was starting to flounder. He went straight to Disney and saved his own career.
I mean, Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is doing the dad from The Croods.
Yeah.
So,
but,
Ross,
it's weird because there is one movie that I anticipate will get a sequel. I can't wait. Can't wait for Pulp Fiction 2 with Alec Baldwin.
Oh, stop it, son! Leave the man alone.
I'm never going to
Please.
leave that man alone.
Like
He's
complaints,
pestered
Justin?
so many people on Twitter for so fucking long. I'm going to ride this train all the way to innocent or guilty.
Justin, start a counter for Son's Alec Baldwin jokes.
We're at 2. Ross, sorry. What are you looking forward to? Boondocks?
I'm interested. I didn't see the sequel, but I loved the original. I first caught it when I was going through my training, my initial training in the Navy, and I watched it on repeat, right next to Red versus Blue seasons 1 and 2.
Oh God.
So I enjoyed it a lot. I've changed a lot since then, so I don't know if I haven't seen it in years, so I don't know if the film really still appeals to me, because I've changed a lot since then. I'll see. I'll watch it probably once it gets to streaming and see if I enjoy it. It's not a movie I think that I'm eager to see in the theater. But I'm glad that they've got the old crew back together. That does give me some optimism to it. There you go. All right. All right. Let's move on.
Son's cracked more jokes than Alec Baldwin's fired shots.
Oh, do we have to have multiples?
Let's move on to a little bit of tech news.
Hold on. I need to address Triple Bibble in your Twitch chat. Triple Bibble, tasty sexual tension. Does it taste like fish or sausage?
That.
I was ready to dance. I don't know what's wrong with you people.
Wow.
Triple Bibble in the Twitch chat, in Ross's Twitch chat, said the sexual tension in the air is tasty.
That's Joe.
Bye. Have a great day.
Everybody,
So there you go.
the
Joe,
correct answer is both. All right. So
In
Romantic.
tech news, Ross, you were saying.
in tech news this week, I think, or no, it was last week, but it's something we should talk about this week. Facebook has officially changed its name, or more accurately, created a parent company for all of Facebook's properties to Meta.
That's so meta.
With the intention to create a metaverse, as coined in Ready Player One,
with a logo.
And once again, Zuckerberg's self-awareness is negligible, practically not there. Seriously, the guy seems to keep becoming less and less.
His emotion chip
over
must be
time.
damaged after so much money.
It's really the lore in Mark Zuckerberg's body. That's what the problem
I made
is.
this joke earlier, but I'm going to make
Zuckerlore.
it again. He's just going to keep de-evolving down the uncanny valley until he's completely doused himself in sweet baby rays and devolves into Armus.
He's
Wait.
It's actually an Undine in disguise, species A472. Because if anybody touches him, he recoils in horror.
Actually, the idea of touching Mark Zuckerberg makes me recoil in horror.
Now, there's an interesting thing in all of this stuff.
You want to see something that's recoiled? Hang on. I got something for you real quick.
Oh, no.
Well, while you're getting that ready, the interesting thing is that there might actually be a proper legal challenge against Facebook over this.
Because there's already a company known as Meta, and it's a PC building company.
I think
Don't buy them out.
Don't
Don't buy them out.
Facebook might have. Well, they're determined not to sell.
Because apparently Facebook reached out to them and tried to buy the name from them, and the company said, no, fuck you. We got it first. We don't want to be associated with you. And the Facebook said, well, we're going to use the name anyway. So, ha ha ha.
Well, and that's where this turns into a legal situation. It from a legal standpoint, Facebook has every legal right to create a parent company named Meta for all of their social, gaming, and whatever hosting that they do, because they're not a PC building company.
Right.
And Meta as a PC building company can also exist because it is solely a PC building company. Now,
It's like
if Facebook decides to build custom Oculus Rifts,
which they want to
then
do.
there might be a legal challenge there, because that is starting to encroach upon PC building territory.
which is something that Facebook is wanting to get into, which clearly laid
This
out.
is true, and the
They want to
horrifying
turn everybody
thing.
into Ready fucking Player One. That's exactly what we're going to turn into.
You're thinking Ready Player One. It's much more horrifying than that. What Zuckerberg proposed in his video looks a lot like the Bruce Willis movie Surrogates.
Oh god, that's
no.
right. I remember that movie.
Yeah, he pitches it as all nice and benign, but do we all remember when Facebook seemed benign?
I mean,
Remember-
I don't remember
all
anymore.
nice and innocent. It seems like all nice and innocent, but we're all going to be like mindless fucking zombies plugged into a digital fucking world, unable to feed or clothe ourselves because we're all digital fucking avatars sitting in a fucking room somewhere.
Remember when Google's motto was "Don't be evil"?
Yeah, they took that out.
They didn't just take
Did they?
They didn't just take that out. They Alec Baldwin that shit.
Number 3.
Damn it, son.
Wait, is that
Look
an
at
algorithm
you.
joke?
If you stop setting them up, I'll stop shooting them out.
Number 4.
So,
God.
this is
Dude,
going to be a
this is a type.
topic to follow. We'll see what happens. Let's get into a
Well-
little Star Wars news with the release of the trailer for the Book of Boba Fett. Who's seen it? Because I have.
Oddly enough,
Greg.
Alec Baldwin was not involved.
Son, have you seen it?
Heavy sigh. I've made my intentions very clear over this trailer.
I
Everywhere.
believe you called it the bookkeeping of Boba Fett.
Yeah. This whole thing.
Dear.
The whole trailer feels like the bookkeeping of Boba Fett. It's like, oh, hey, look, I'm going to take over all of Jabba's shit. Well, let me go into that Twi'lek's room with whatever the hell creepy shit he had, and let me just account for all of Jabba's assets.
The Book of Boba Fett. I mean, it's really going to be the accounting Book of Boba Fett. With Star Wars characters and death and sandworms and Ewoks
Raul, how about you? What'd you think of the
and
trailer?
Ralphs.
I enjoyed it. I don't know who's in charge of the project. I know very little about the project. So
Filoni and
go ahead,
Favreau.
Greg. Oh, okay, even better. So I'm looking forward to it.
Greg?
I fell in love with this trailer the second it's all I'm not a bounty hunter anymore. And the alien's like, yeah, I've heard different. And it's just the score, the music just instantly grabs you. And when the trailer's playing and it's called The Book of Boba Fett and he's taking over and he goes, Jabba ruled with fear. I'm going to rule with respect. I'm like, all hail Boba Fett. Like Tamura Morrison, oh my god, is just like absolutely owning this role. I love where it's going. The shot shows a great, beautiful image of Mos Eisley. Shows a great image, a beautiful shot of Mos Eisley. It's buzzing with activity, and just the fact that it just starts off with Boba is now a king, more or less, taking over Jabba's empire and telling everybody we'll make more through cooperation than we will fighting each other. And one of the favorite part of the trailer is like, what stops us from killing you? And Fennec is like, if you had spoke to Jabba that way, you would have been fed to his menagerie. And then Boba's sisters goes, go ahead, speak freely. It's going to be an amazing series. Favreau Filoni killed it with Mandalorian. It's just one of those things like, since the Star Wars trilogy from Force Awakens to Rise of Skywalker killed Star Wars for me, Mandalorian saved it. Boba Fett is going to be is just going to be that good, and it's Tamora Morrison.
better
We
be.
have right. It's great. The trailer was really well done. The score is amazing. We're going to get a look at Tatooine we haven't seen before. We're not going to get Crybaby Luke because he can't go get power converters. We're going to get the underworld of what Jabba really did, or what Boba Fett wants to do. And one story I want to see is when people are like, "Oh, we've heard you were dead." There's going to be something to say that we heard you were dead, and he's going to tell a story of how he survived the Starlight.
Find a shorter sound, Justin. That one takes a bit.
You're
But
galloping again.
did I freeze up or?
Yeah, you
You
were
broke up
Roboting
quite a bit,
through the
yes.
whole thing.
I heard-
Looking forward to the
Greg.
show.
We heard pretty much all of it, Greg. It just got
Yeah.
hard to.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Justin. How about you?
I'm excited. As long as it doesn't turn into the bookkeeping of Boba Fett, I think we are in for a good show. They could have maybe, not with the way they did with the trailer, because that's certainly the impression it looks like. But I mean, I think this is going to be an interesting take of Boba Fett. I'm interested to see what happens next. But so this is going to be after Mandalorian is going to be after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, so
I'm guessing now.
Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett take place after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. For some reason I was thinking Mandalorian was prequel, for whatever reason.
I'm calling it now. I think the Mandalorian and Boba Fett are going to have a showdown.
Probably because Mando's apparently the Mandalorian king now. So
Mando's got bigger fish to fry than Boba Fett.
yeah,
I know, but I'm just saying it's a good boost for each other, and it builds on Favreau's empire within Star Wars.
Look,
Yeah,
just say it's season 2, like George called it.
Okay, I'll say it's season 2, like George.
It's
Okay.
going to be season 3. Yeah.
Here's a thing that crossed my mind, and partly with help of the Geek Easy yesterday. There's this little Star Wars movie that didn't get the credit it deserved, and that is the Han Solo movie.
I actually like that one.
I actually
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And here's the thing: his former girlfriend is now in charge of an entire criminal organization, the Blue
Yeah.
Suns,
Right.
Yeah.
A potential rival.
and potential rival. But you also have the fact that she was ruthless when she needed to be, but was more of a diplomat because of her having to serve the leaders of the Blue Sun.
Right.
Which makes me think they might actually combine forces at some point.
Sure.
Jabba,
It's possible.
like Jabba ruled,
That's a very John Favreau thing to do.
Jabba ruled through fear, and yet at the same time kept everyone at this arm's length. Like even his little Twi'lek second in command guy, he would only he would get pissed at, but that dude always seemed Jabba. It always seemed like Jabba was within an inch of feeding that guy to the fucking Rancor.
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
here you have Boba Fett going, things have changed. We can have all of those arrangements again. In fact, I might give you a better deal on them. We work better when we work with respect. And then here you have Han Solo's girlfriend she just shows up in that big, huge fucking dreadnought ship, and she's like, "Hey, can we join your alliance and stuff? Because if we're all working together, we'll have more firepower than the Republic actually has right now."
Although he did kind of execute Bib Fortuna on sight.
Well, I would have too. I mean,
Bib Fortuna was not the nicest of characters either. So
Look, I'm okay. I'm just going to come out and say it. Every time I see that Twi'lek guy, I swear to God, he seems like he would be the Star Wars equivalent of a pedophile.
Yeah.
no, you know what he is. You know what he is. He's Grimga Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings. He's exactly that.
And that
It's
makes
true.
Jabba Saruman.
Yeah, yes, he does. He is.
Well, that would make sense considering Jabba was dealing in spice.
Yes.
and slaves and other things.
Slaves
and
Another
nice
thing to
must
keep
flow.
in mind that Jabba was a member of the Hutt
It makes
family,
everything nice.
and the Hutts control an area of space that is rival
Massive.
to the New Republic.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
God! Wait a minute! so I just thought of something that's never
Uh-oh.
been discussed whatsoever in
no.
all of this shit.
Okay,
Oh no!
let's hear it.
So Jabba Hutt is part of the Hutt cartel and part of the
Right.
Hutt lineage, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, the royal Hutt lineage.
It's never like we know what happened, and everybody who survived the shit on the barge knows what happened. I would love to have seen the political back and forth between the Republic and the Hutts, because the princess of a blown up ass planet killed one of their royalty.
Well, I mean, they don't get. It's not like they get along well. They deal with each other like any group, any power groups deal with each other through positions of strength and influence.
The Republic hadn't quite formed yet. It was still
Yeah.
the rebellion to reform the Republic.
Right.
Oh,
They had influence. but-
No. I completely understand like the nuances here, but you have like, if she had just shot Jabba the Hutt, I don't think anybody would be having any major issues. It's the fact that she literally choked his ass to death with her own slave chains.
And I can't remember for sure, but I think Leia was elected as the first chancellor.
She is the
of
first
the New
chancellor
Republic.
of the New Republic.
So she would have been representing the New Republic to the Hutts.
Uh-huh.
Hello,
Uh-huh. This is
Chancellor Leia
exactly-
Organa. I murdered Boba Fett.
Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. This is what I'm like. Like, I would have loved to have seen that political conversation.
Well,
That
I do
would be
think
fun.
that Sun is onto something. I think that the Hutt cartel is going to be a major force in the book of Boba Fett. So I do believe that he's going to be conflicting with them, trying to take back Jabba's assets.
Which would mean an alliance with the Blue Suns might be necessary.
Yeah.
Or they
Are they
bring
the
back
Blue Suns? I thought they were the Red Suns or something like
Red
that.
Dawn.
Red.
Oh,
Red
okay.
Dawn.
There are so many fucking criminal syndicates. Thank
Yes.
you.
There are.
Thank
There
you,
are.
the-
There's
Thank you, the Old Republic.
This could be.
there's
when they
just so
bring
much
back Red Dawn.
opportunity. It's hard to back down from it.
All right. Well, moving on. Let's lead in with. Okay, we got a couple gaming topics this week.
Yay!
We got a bunch from Blizzard, but before we get into that,
Boo!
first topic: Skyrim.
Boo!
about
One of the
Skyrim?
longest running single-player games in history is getting yet another release.
remake.
It's
Yeah.
not. Well, see, here's the thing. It's not. It's not a new game. It's
No.
not a new game release.
It's the same
They're-
game.
No. That's not what I mean. The quote unquote anniversary edition is literally a mandatory update to Skyrim Special Edition,
Yes.
because they are
Okay.
changing a bunch of the game's source code, the engine's source code, with the anniversary update.
Right.
And with the anniversary update, they're giving out basically all the Creation Club content that exists now with Special Edition, while also introducing a bunch more for purchase after the anniversary edition releases. The problem is this is a mandatory update to the game's engine code for Special Edition.
It's going to break all the mods.
It's going to break all of the mods, and some of those mods will never be updated because people have already moved on to other things.
Other modders could pick up the old mods and update them.
And considering the shitstorm that the Nexus has gone through, do you really think a whole bunch of those modders are going to go back to those mods on the Nexus when when a brand new terms of service just dropped for Nexus mods over whether or not who controls the property rights for a mod uploaded to Nexus mods?
Oh.
Yeah,
I didn't hear about that.
That story has I haven't seen that story anywhere. And when that little pop-up for the new terms of service came up, I read through the whole fucking thing and I was pissed.
I've noticed a lot of places have started quietly changing their TOS and updating the new things.
For those
YouTube
that
just did
don't
it not
know,
too long ago.
The Creation Club was a program started by Bethesda and ZeniMax to hire on notable modders to create official content for the games, their games that would be sold via an in-game shop. And it is one of the ways that they've been able to afford continued development of both Skyrim and Fallout 4. The reception has been mixed, with some people enjoying the mods, some people have ignored them, and there are a notable share of critics. But it has seemed to be a more or less positive for the game if it's something that you want to contribute to.
The biggest issue is I think the biggest issue for the mixed to slightly negative reaction for the Creation Club exists from how it was created in the first place. Because the Creation Club didn't start as the Creation Club. The Creation Club is a 6 to 12 months, we've reformed the thing we wanted to do into the Creation Club thing. And that original thing that Bethesda wanted to do is, hey, let's get these known modders from the community on board. Let's have them make content using our official assets or textures and assets we can give them, and then sell them through the Steam Workshop. And not just that, but allow any mod to be uploaded and sold through the Steam Workshop.
It failed miserably.
And let's not just start that with Fallout 4, which is the game we just released. Let's start the whole fucking thing with Skyrim. Which meant people who already had mods out for Skyrim and Skyrim Special Edition suddenly found that their mods were being taken by other people, uploaded to the workshop, and being sold for $9, $10, $20, $30.
The funniest of those, not that one specifically, but it was a paid mod that was literally nothing. This mod, it was a mod that was, this mod has nothing in it. $5. People bought it.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's experiment failed pretty miserably. But the Creation Club has seemed to have been a bit more of a success.
Well, see, that's the interesting thing, because if I remember correctly, that was also, not only was that the beginnings of the Creation Club, that was kind of the introduction of the Steam Workshop period. At least it felt like it was the introduction to the wider audience. Because I sure as hell didn't know about the Steam Workshop until this happened. And
I don't remember.
And when that happened, Steam unilaterally made the decision that workshop mods wouldn't be paid for content.
I do remember that. Because it was way too easy for people to steal other people's work and re-upload it, and Steam said, no, we're not going to deal with that. That's way too much of a liability.
Well, yeah, especially when people who had created mods started going after Steam and threatening legal action, which they had every right to do, because third parties were uploading, created content. And that's what rolls over into the Nexus mods issue itself. Is if you create a mod on your own, does Nexus mods have the legal right to claim it as their property in any respect, just because they're hosting it?
Yeah, ModDB is about to get a lot more popular.
Well, not just that. The interesting thing is that there's a lot of non-lewd mods suddenly on Lover's Lab. So, yeah.
Lover's Lab, if you didn't guess, is a more adult-oriented
Mod
You don't
distribution
say.
thing for mini games, not just
Yeah.
Skyrim.
Yeah, a favored source for MXR mods.
And Justin's got nothing right now. Oh, there he is.
Any other thoughts on Skyrim?
I have no thoughts on adult mods. None.
My biggest issue in all of this is nobody, and this is one of those Nintendo subscription plus issues. Nobody from Bethesda has said what the price on this upgrade is going to be. And if they charge $60 for this for the upgrade, because it's already a mandatory download of an update. The changes are happening no matter what. You're getting that update. You have to purchase the Legendary Edition upgrade, kind of like buying the deluxe upgrade. Nobody said what the price is going to be on this bastard. And if it's $60, if it's literally us having to buy Skyrim all over again, fuck Bethesda.
They have revealed the price.
Oh dear.
And it's in a video, not an article. Let me see if I can find the article.
Another gaming news: the Nintendo Switch expansion pass has been great. I love it.
Skyrim Anniversary Edition will cost $4.99 for new players, and if you already own Special Edition, the upgrade will cost $20.
Wait. Repeat
What?
that again.
All right. If you're buying Skyrim for the first time, Skyrim Anniversary Edition will cost $49.99.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If you already own Special Edition, to upgrade to the Anniversary upgrade will instead cost you $19.99.
You said $4.99 at first.
Confused the shit out of us.
$49.99.
Cool.
Okay.
Ross.
I'm still not entirely thrilled at the $20 price tag, because they're literally giving us the biggest paid for creations for free in the update anyway. Like if you update from when you update from Special Edition to the Anniversary Edition before purchasing the upgrade itself, the update itself will include the survival mod creation and the Dark Seducers and Golden Saints mod, which are the two biggest pieces of content they have. Period.
And those are the Oblivion Gate quests, as well as content inspired by Morrowind. So you're getting bits of Morrowind and Oblivion in Skyrim.
So yeah, it's like this is. I'm basically paying $20 for a bunch of player houses that I will never fucking use. Why? You could sell it.
I can tell you why, son. I can tell you why.
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm not going to buy it. It's not worth it. If it was,
but as long as people are dumb enough to spend their money on these updates and expansion, people are going to.
Yeah, but that's because people will never be not dumb enough to do stupid shit.
All right. So we've got a couple updates from Blizzard this week. The first being that Activision Blizzard is suspending BlizzCon for the foreseeable future.
Yep, we talked about that last week, remember? With the activist.
The second is that Overwatch 2 and Diablo 4 are being delayed to 2023. We talked about that last week as well.
No, we didn't.
And the co-leader of Blizzard,
that one we talked about,
don't have her name on here, has stepped down.
Mm-hmm. So if like I mentioned this before in a previous Acta list, if you've watched the de-evolution of Blizzard, it's gone from CEO of Blizzard to president of Blizzard uh, uh, to now it's like, what is it? Co-hosts, co-leaders,
Yeah.
co-leader. So they're constant. Activision even before all of this ruckus over the culture at Blizzard. Activision has slowly been chipping away at Blizzard and trying to just basically assimilate it.
Well, they're just gonna slam it at the door one at a time.
Eh,
No,
And we
No.
will add your technological distinctiveness to our own.
God damn it!
yeah,
I
but
knew
see,
that.
here's the problem: all the technological distinctiveness is now fired or left, and it's because all those toxic people were there.
Still there, aren't they?
Some are
Well, from
still
ours.
there. Some are still there. A whole bunch of them resigned before Activision even acquired Blizzard and made this nice little toxic company that I think everybody knows called Riot.
Which is launching its first animated series on Netflix.
And its first RPG, by the way, is coming out soon. It's going to be hideous.
It's official. You suck.
And now, I mean, and like I covered last week, now we now have Bobby Kotick saying we have a no tolerance policy, which is just corporate speak for you're both going to be fired. Meanwhile, he
It's a
takes
good way. It's a good way to get rid of senior employees that cost you a lot of money.
Meanwhile, he decides that the best gesture he can do in all of this is take a pay cut to the minimum allowed salary in California while not resigning himself when he presided over all of this bullshit to begin with.
Yeah. It
It's
should
the
be
best
noted
he
that
thinks. It's the best he can do to the public. He still owns plenty of Blizzard stock, which is worth multiple millions of dollars. So
for now,
It's
it's been
true.
taking a pretty severe plunge for the last month or so.
I'm willing to bet that they'll be sold off by the end of the year.
It should also be noted that Blizzard has not even acknowledged the demands of its employees for in the wake of these accusations. It's just not.
It's typical of Blizzard. What are you talking about? That's part of the course for their bad management.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
even that. That's standard operating procedure for the gaming industry, period.
corporations and period, just in general.
Like this is why
They all
this is
suck.
why people were so upset when Iwata died. Because Iwata took responsibility for the shit that happened at his company. When the Wii U flopped as hard as it did, like Iwata took a major salary cut from the get-go so he wouldn't have to fire employees. So yeah, no, like this gesture is quite a bit late, Mr. Kotick.
Yeah, there's no doubt what a scumbag Kotick is.
And in
I
fact,
mean, no doubt. Nobody's going to even argue with your son. It might as well be.
in fact, at this point, I'm going to, and I'm going to have to remind myself to keep doing it, but I'm going to start and continue referring to Mr. Kotick by his given name, Robert Kotick. Because I ain't going to be all friendly and bobby with him. Not no more.
Well, maybe we should introduce him to Alec Baldwin.
Oh god damn it! There it was.
Oh, please,
that
not
was,
you
that
too.
was not very good, Justin.
That was bad.
That wasn't even a joke. That was just, hey, let me throw Alec Baldwin in there.
I try.
Try harder.
Okay.
I mean, at least get a rehearsal in. That way you can shoot him in the head when he's not looking.
God
Oh,
damn
jeez.
it. God.
Okay, moving
All right,
on.
and in our final bit of gaming news tonight, Netflix has unveiled its gaming service.
5, Justin, not 4.
And I have not tried it yet. How about you guys?
I have
think
not.
as a
I'm interested
what now?
in doing it though.
So, Netflix has introduced a gaming service.
Yeah,
I
like a
mean,
GameFly kind of.
So when did they
Said
acquire
something about last
GameFly?
I didn't have the article in Trello, so I'm looking at it. I'm trying to find it now.
let the game to begin this new way to experience.
Chatter among yourselves while I frantically search.
Oh, is it mobile?
Okay, so, son, you did not get the expansion pass for the Switch. I'm assuming you said you. I know you were against it.
I don't own a Switch in the first place.
Um,
I've never been able to get my hands on a
You're
Switch.
probably thinking about Reina or Travis.
well, it's just that I know son had mentioned something about it. But I guess I'm the only Switch nerd right now.
No, I've got a Switch.
I like
and I'm
Switch. I
quite a
just
nerd
can't
with
afford it at the moment.
I think Raina's got one, yes.
Ross, are
But,
you gonna
yeah,
get the
no, I
expansion?
don't.
I intend to in a few short weeks. I got some bad
Oh.
news about my car today, so I'm saving up for a
No,
new
no.
fuel pump because I didn't
Oh.
know the E35 fuel is not meant to be used with every tank.
Oh,
What?
yeah. Ethanol is only approved for ethanol vehicle. Yeah.
My vehicle is an ethanol vehicle.
So why did E85 screw it up?
According
Too
to our
highly
mechanic, it's
concentrated.
not meant to be used with every tank. You're supposed to alternate.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
What type of Mickey Mouse bullshit is this?
It's called.
I've never.
So Ross literally owns a hybrid gas vehicle. He has to have regular gas on one tank and ethanol in the other.
What year? What make model is your car, Ross?
It's
I just like a little sugar in my
2017
tank. You know what I mean?
It's a 2017 Chevy Equinox.
No,
Oh
nobody.
yeah, no, that's too new for me.
I'm sorry.
What was that again,
Well,
Roll?
what was your joke?
Retry.
My joke was I just like a little sugar in my tank. That's all.
Damn it.
Guys, stop breaking Justin.
All right, Netflix games will start rolling out to Netflix mobile apps starting November 3rd. Users can also
They're in cahoots
download.
with Android, so it's all going to be Android style games for the phone kind of deal going on.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be mobile games.
It's going to be
it's
mostly
all
mobile
free.
games. Be careful.
Among
it's
the
all
games included
free.
in this service is Stranger Things 3: The Game.
Okay.
Yeah,
You can't use a
they have the
wireless
whole Stranger
controller
Things.
or a mobile controller like the Razer. It's touch controls only. Okay, so it's a mobile gaming service.
Mobile gaming stuff. There's a market for sure, but it's not going to be me.
Of course, there's a market for it. There's a reason Nintendo keeps making mobile games.
Yeah, because they're extremely profitable and they cost nothing to make.
So, yeah, pretty much. They're going to do that. And okay.
Speaking of mobile games, Harry Potter Wizards Unite is now discontinued.
Yep, Niantic has discontinued it.
Is that the watch a child be choked to death unless you pay to pass that thing game?
I'm not sure. I just noticed that mobile game Harry Potter Wizards Unite. The last time you'll be able to play it, they said is January of next year, and they are launching a new game. Pikmin is now coming to mobile games. For Niantic, they're making it Niantic Pikmin. Basically, is what it is.
And that's where I was like, I have lost any. See, I was eager to find out something about a I've never played a Pikmin game, but I've always been interested in them, and the fact that Nintendo doesn't offer a bundle like they did with the Metroid series,
Right,
for their console, it's like well, okay, well, at least give us a new Pikmin game. And then I saw the Nintendo Direct, and I saw Niantic, I saw the Pikmin. I was like all excited. Okay, cool. I might be able to get into it. Then I saw Niantic, and I'm like, and I'm out.
By the way, on the Netflix thing, I was looking at it, and there's no additional fee. So if you have a Netflix account, you're automatically in.
Greg,
yes.
this is the reason I'm out. Get 6 great Pikmin throws in a row. That's why I'm out.
Yeah, that's pay to win.
That's
right there.
stupid. I hate pay to
That's why I
win.
spoof in the game.
I hate pay to win. I hate pay to win.
All right.
I hate pay to win.
Let's wrap up this little side of dystopia with a little bit of fun as we wrap up our night. What are we watching? Justin.
Let's see here. I am still on the Airsoft rabbit hole on YouTube, which is just oh so interesting and fun to watch people run around and play Call of Duty in real life. But that's pretty much what Airsoft is. Star Citizen released a new patch this week. It's the new PTU update for the medical gameplay. It's actually made the game a lot more enjoyable and a lot more stable. There is a free fly week coming up starting at the end of the week. I think it goes on for 2 weeks. It's for the launch of the medical gameplay. There's and the Invictus ship event, so there's going to be free. You'll be able to try ships. You'll be able to look at what's coming up. You got a lot of fun stuff in the works, so make sure to check it out.
All right. Thank you, Justin. Greg.
Prodigy, of course. Not too much to watch. All the shows I'm looking forward to are just happen to be coming out late November to December with Lost in Space, Book of Boba Fett, Jurassic Park. Yeah.
Moon Knight.
We all know what show was not on the watch list this week.
Anyway, we'll talk about that later. I am continuing my watch of Castle. It is a good show. But other than that, it's a Nathan Fillion binge actually because I'm watching Castle and I watched The Rookie, so it's a Nathan Fillion watch-a-thon for a while.
You gotta throw Firefly in there if
I've seen
you
Firefly
have.
though.
Oh, and I did forget one additional thing on my watch list. Doctor Who is back. Yes, it's back, and it's actually halfway decent.
So I'm on a Nathan Fillion marathon pretty much every week.
Nice. All right. Thank you, Greg. Raul.
Well, I'm mostly playing games this week. I'm playing the Lost Ark technical beta, which I'm sure many people on Steam are enjoying. It's kind of it's an MMO with Diablo style controls. It's the easiest way I can. It's going pretty well. The graphics are beautiful. If you don't enjoy the Diablo style controls, it's going to be a little difficult. Somebody described it as point and click murder, and I'm like, well, that's not inaccurate, but it sort of destroys the gameplay of it because there's a lot of subtle technical subtleties of Lost Ark that I'm just starting to get playing it a little bit. Also, what am I playing? I am looking forward to a new season of Smite because they are having the classic Generation 1 Transformers as guest stars. I definitely suggest because the graphics look wonderful. I will put the trailer for the new season battle pass, which has the Transformers in it, in our thing for Smite. It looks amazing, and I'm a big fan of Transformers, and I can't wait.
Awesome.
15 days.
Thank you, Raul. Son.
So, like Justin, I've been watching the new Doctor Who, and like I said in the pre-show, if this is how Chibnall writing, like if this is how his writing works, this is what they should have done from the fucking beginning. Because I'm actually okay with what I've seen so far of this 6-episode story. It looks like it's shaping up to be an actually interesting thing. Let's see, what else have I been watching? I'm still watching Voyager. I just got through with Riddles. The episode Riddles.
Okay.
And I don't know if I noticed it before or not, but I noticed it now. At the end when Tuvok and Neelix are talking, and Tuvok recommends eating all of the sundaes.
Yes.
And there's that line from Neelix about, well, it's not very logical, is it? And Tuvok goes, no, it's not. And then he has that Vulcan eyebrow raise. If you're listening to the audio of that, the moment he raises his eyebrow, I shit you not, there is that cell phone alert ding that happens. I shit you not. In the audio file for the episode, if you go back and watch that scene, when his eyebrow raises, there's a little ding, and it sounds just like a phone alert.
Huh.
I had to go back.
See,
there's little things like that. That been cell phones would have been around during Voyager because that was late 96 ish.
It was late 90s.
So that would have been the Nokia.
Other than that, I am both excited and frustratedly just. It's not like depression. It's just disappointment. I'm frustratedly disappointed in Bungie. So, so you guys know that Bungie is still doing their whole Destiny 2 thing, right?
Yeah, for
And
years.
And their new thing is the next year is supposed to be like their 30th anniversary and the launch of their new year expansion, which is like the Witch Queen and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
And in Bungie's infinite wisdom, they have gloriously decided to give all players access to the Forsaken DLC for free in December, a month before they literally vault the content.
Yep.
Content that people paid money for and will no longer have access to.
For now.
The original intro shit still isn't back in the game.
Right.
The Red War and all that kind of stuff, the base game shit isn't in the game anymore. So I don't have any hopes of Bungie ever bringing Forsaken out of the vault. Especially when their biggest excuse for doing it in the first place is data management.
All right. Wow, we're doing great time tonight. It doesn't even feel like it's a normal show.
Well, we didn't
even the pre-show.
Well, we didn't spend 2 hours talking about Doom, so.
or Star Trek. So, yeah.
As for me, Greg, before you say anything, at this point, I'm going to not watch Lucifer out of spite.
God damn it.
It's a bad choice. It's a good show.
I know it is, but as much as this guy's giving me crap for it.
You're actually.
I was. I was living switch roles this week.
This week, I started listening to Star Trek Coda, Book 1.
Oh, that's right.
Moments of Thunder. It's this trilogy is the finale, the send-off for how long has it been? 12 years? 12 years of novel continuity from the end of Enterprise through the current continuity of the Star Trek novels. And they've done a lot. Dayton Ward, David Mack, and James Swallow, Kevin Dillmore, and a host of other authors have done amazing things, incredible stories, fun characters, intense drama, moments of laughter, moments of sorrow that have fleshed out this universe in a very unique way that you can really only do in a novel setting, free of the restrictions of television and film. Things like creating a spider-like character whose name includes an exclamation point. That it's unpronounceable with a human mouth that they just call the character Chaka. They've brought in elements of other Star Trek stories from the old 90s Starfleet Academy comic books, making one of my personal favorite characters, Pava Eknorsha Akaba, the second shift tactical officer on the USS Titan. She is my Trek crush, my Trek waifu. They've done things like create internal strife within the Federation. They've fleshed out what the internal politics of the Federation looks like. They had an ongoing drama about the reproductive crisis of Andor as a result of them having 4 genders. You had the formation of the Typhon Pact, a alliance between the Romulan Star Empire, the Gorn hegemony, the Zenkethi, the Gorn, and the Kinshaya that formed a rival power to the Federation. You had the ultimate and final conflict between the Borg and the Alpha and Beta Quadrants. 4,000 Borg cubes emerged from the Azure Nebula and began to exterminate everything. And it resulted in a definitive end to the Borg threat. I won't spoil it for you because it is definitely worth a read. But all of these things come to a head and are going to have an end. And it looks like it's going to have something to do with some kind of temporal threat. The book opens with Wesley Crusher observing the Guardian of Forever, and it is destroyed.
So, I know how they ended the Borg threat. 4,000 cubes? That just means Starfleet created the Doctor's photonic cannon.
So take a moment to let that sink in. The Guardian of Forever, this incredibly powerful and unknowable force, is completely annihilated and scares Wesley Crusher, the Traveler,
So
who has existed throughout all of time and space at this point.
I'm going to say right now that it was not an actual event, just the vision of a possible future.
No, it was it's an impressive book so far. There's 2 more to go, and I'm only about a third of the way through it.
I'm gonna have to say Janeway because she's the destructor of all things.
Janeway has died and come back already.
Yes, but that doesn't stop it from happening again, she's already also had doubles.
You mean Janeway has become Goku? Holy shit!
She got assimilated by a mega cube. The cube then ate Pluto, and then Seven piloted a doomsday machine to destroy the cube.
Okay, there's a whole bunch of crazy going on here.
And then lowercase q reversed her death, and then she formed the full circle and sent Chakotay into the Delta Quadrant.
So we're this series is definitively stating that it is now breaking away from canon.
Like the continuity that has been created over the last 12 years is ending. And the novels going forward after this trilogy are going to be in line with the current canon of Star Trek as it's being seen.
Because Discovery and the Guardian of Forever.
Well, there are a lot of things. From a marketing standpoint, they want books that fall in line with the current canon.
Oh no, I completely I understand.
It's a wise choice.
It's what Disney did, right?
Well, it's different.
Disney have to.
Disney just discontinued everything and said, "Okay, it's Legends." But what CBS is doing is giving a conclusion to these stories.
No. I understand what you're saying, Ross, but the essential follow through is the same. we're ending all of this old stuff, and it's going to be an old canon, and then we have all of this stuff that's going to be the new canon. So go ahead and have your Michael Bay film of an ending for the books. Just go ahead.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, in the Legacy Star Wars stuff, Chewie was killed by a fucking moon. So
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about Michael Bay? That you can't get much more Michael Bay than that.
Yeah,
a moon falls on you.
Dropped a moon on him to kill him.
So I guess that's what it would take to kill Chewie. But I mean, give me a break.
But
a little
that isn't
excessive.
necessarily the end of what we've seen from that continuity. We've
Yeah,
already
they
seen
have
the
all of
Titan.
that to draw from, right, Ross?
Yeah.
So, and they're slowly bringing it forward.
We've seen the Titan go from beta canon to alpha canon, and
we've seen bits and pieces from Star Wars Legends become canon.
And,
Yes.
and Prodigy is the latest example of that. Roktak is a Brickar, and they were originally introduced in the Peter David novels New Frontier.
Amazing writer.
And the Roktak were actually supposed to be in Star Trek V at one point, but it went over budget.
Right.
Way
So
over.
Peter David is an amazing writer. I remember his run in the Hulk, and he was amazing. 10 years of great Hulk comics.
And Peter David did some amazing Star Trek novels as well. But that's what I'm listening to. That's pretty much what I'm up to this week.
Hey, Ross, you know what else is missing in the Star Trek universe?
If you say Lucifer
season 5.
That's amazing.
I know
your internet Google full skills are amazing, Justin.
No, about that role in the show Lucifer, Amy Garcia's character is a die-hard Trekkie, so she actually comes from a Star Trek convention to serve a crime scene in a Star Trek uniform.
That was a fun.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That was a very fun episode.
Okay, so
And you did it again in season 5.
Speaking of weird cross-referencing stuff, that's a thing that happens in the Doctor Who episode. We get a brand new actress that looks like insanely similar yet slightly older version of Clara Oswald. And in fact, she even speaks like she should be doing something that she should remember, and this and that and the other. And she knows an enemy when she sees it, and she knows how to deal with it until she makes a mistake.
And she even says the following world, I came here the long way around. I don't think that was Clara, but I think that was the immortal Clara version.
I like the the diner.
Yeah.
Clara. Yeah, no, that's what I think too. But yeah, she's in this apparently, or will.
Does Maisie Williams make an appearance, or her character?
No, see, that's what I'm saying.
They're
They hired a new lady, but she looks so much like Clara. So like,
Speaking of Maisie Williams, that reminds me before we call it for tonight. I talked about it a bit earlier in our group chat, but at last we got Genlock Season 2. I don't know if you guys remember me talking about this series, but it's a Rooster Teeth animated series co-produced by Michael B. Jordan and stars Maisie Williams, David Tennant, and a whole bunch of other big actors.
I always like stuff that has Tennant in it. It always turns out to be fun.
It is a mecha anime inspired animated series by Rooster Teeth set in a near future where the generally free I'm going to
spit it out,
Ross. Come on.
breath.
Breathe.
Where a war is fought against an oppressive invading force called the Union, and the main characters are fighting against them in machines called holons that they transfer their consciousness into to fight.
Ross,
Speaking of which, real quick, is that Good Omens, the second season is coming, and it's going to be fantastic. That couple, that pair of actors together is amazing.
You know, they're having to rewrite a whole new thing around it because Good Omens was only one book, one story.
Book. And one of the authors has passed. So, but Neil Gaiman is still alive, so they can continue.
Season 2 of Genlock is out now, and I'm going to gush the hell about it next week.
You didn't pronounce Lucifer correctly.
What did I say, Greg? What did I say?
Oh, that was good though. Greg actually nailed it on the hammer.
Out.
Just like Alec Baldwin.
Spite.
Oh, Jesus.
Spite, Greg. Spite. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for yet another night of heavy-duty geekery. We appreciate you hanging out with us, and I hope you enjoyed yourselves. My name is Ross. Live, love, play, the eyebrows of doom himself. If you're watching us on Twitch, you're already in the right place. Live, love, twitch.tv/live_love_play. Greg, where can people find you?
Much easier. Twitch.tv/MongoosGaming88.
Justin, where can people find you?
Even more easier. Twitch.tv Commander Sepper, CMDR SEPER.
Sunseal, where can people find you?
Twitch.tv/Sunseal.
And Raul, can anyone even find you?
No, thank God.
He's reaching off of one of our Twitches.
He's living in a bubble inside his bowel swamp.
And don't forget to follow.
In the background.
Don't forget to follow our hosts who are not here tonight. Raina Wolf and what's Travis's handle? I forget.
Facebook Star Trek group.
That's right. He doesn't have a Twitch. Oh,
I mean, he does, but I'm not going to share it.
Yeah,
because I was asked not to.
Another week, son, if you would please.
Remember, everyone, you are loved and appreciated by just your being you. Except if you're Alec Baldwin.
Until next time, remember to live, to love, and to play every day. Justin, play us out. Lay us out.
Come on. Come on. There we go.
Lay us out.
It was me. Alrighty. Hey, good night, everybody.
Son, do you have some Florida Man for us tonight?
I do, actually.
Oh, we're getting to do Florida Man tonight.
Yes, we
We're going to do Florida Man.
Are you taking off, Greg? Greg's taking off. All right.
I'll see
and
you
his
guys later.
computer's shitting the bed for him, so there you go.
Oh.
So, this one is a headline that makes complete sense and is also just hilarious.
Uh-oh.
Florida man devotes years of deep university research to find the origin of Cuban sandwiches.
Florida man. A hungry man. Give him meat.
So interestingly enough, the at this point, the prevailing mythos is that the Cuban sandwich was invented in Florida. And in fact, through years of research and cookbooks, going through cookbooks, Cuban cookbooks and all this kind of stuff, a form of the Reuben sandwich has existed in Cuba for quite a lot longer. Just not the way the Cuban exists in Florida. So
it was Cuban. Well, yeah, because the spices weren't there in Cuba, as they were available in the exile period.
So this actually started me on a weird kind of dive into what someone coined as diaspora culture.
Yeah,
because as much as you have the Cuban cooking of the Americas from their history of being the diaspora from Cuba.
Right.
You have the same thing out of and you have the same thing out of the Asian culture,
Sure.
out of the Chinese culture.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
Our what we term as Chinese food is really Cantonese food, and it's Americanized with a lot more
So-
fry and batter.
It's not just that. You know, you're talking about a group of people who were both forced over here and people who fled over here from the communist takeover of China as well.
Sure.
And at the same time, you know, almost met with more hostility than just about any other group in the United States. And yet created a culture in food more than anything. And, you know, as much as people talk about, you know, it's not real Chinese food or this, that, or it is real Chinese food. It's the food of the culture of the Chinese diaspora that exists here in the United States. Because there are the Chinese immigrants that exist in Korea, and Japan, and other countries, and they have their own styles with the ingredients available to them too. And it is a completely different cooking culture as well. So
I
it's
lived in Little Korea in Los Angeles, so yes, I'm very aware of diaspora cultures outside of my own.
So as I was going through all of this, I was I apologize for this being a deep kind of Florida man thing, but as I was going through all this, it's like, no, I really, you know, as much as I was eager before to try a bit of everything, I am so much more eager now to try a bit of everything. Because, I mean, New York, Little Italy is going to be different from Los Angeles, Little Italy, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love trying. When I traveled, I loved trying everything, a little bit of everything, all the different varieties of food I could find. It was awesome, and it sucked because everyone I went out with were always looking for the local variety of Pizza Hut.
Gross.
And see,
Not that Pizza Hut's bad. It's just, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say thank you. I had Pizza Hut last night.
We're here in
No,
Korea,
it's just
and you
that
want
when
to go
you
to
have a
Pizza
chance.
Hut?
Yeah, when you have a chance to sample the local cuisine that's unique to that area, it's a crime not to.
Yeah, but you know, like everybody does their things differently. Like McDonald's overseas, for instance, they don't have the menus they have here. It's all
It's
different.
the exact same thing
Well,
with a few
so-
minor differences.
So here's the weird thing in all of that. You know how you've got the there's always this kind of stereotype that exists of the foodie who travels to another country and tips their guide. Take me to where the real food is of this place, right? And the truth of the matter is, if you do that, the real food of, like, say, Brazil is going to be pretty much the exact same thing as the poor food that exists in wherever state you come from. It's the same thing. Poor people are getting by on the same fucking staples. They're just different kind of staples. You know,
Sure,
here in
sure.
the United States, we have access to rice and beans and a whole bunch of different grains that you know that we can survive on. The same thing is true in a country like Brazil. So when this whole notion of what's the real food like, it's like, well, take me to
It depends.
basic.
Depends on your class. It really.
Well, yeah, the basic idea that I see out of this stereotype is, take me to a restaurant that doesn't exist in the main tourism. Take me to something exotic. Well, it's like, well, I mean, exotic is expensive. And expensive doesn't necessarily mean the real food of the culture. I mean, it's kind of like coming from Europe and to America and going to like, I don't know, some state with a little Chinatown and saying, take me to where the real food here is, and then you get taken to a PF Chang's. That's basically what that stereotype boils down to. They want exotic because if they got the real food of the culture, they'd be just as disappointed as the people already eating it.
I was rarely disappointed. I tried alligator and fried eel skin.
Yeah,
I've had alligator before.
I like alligator
chicken.
chicken. I like alligator chicken fried steak.
Which is
Then again, I live in the South, and interestingly enough, as much as we do the deep fried fish and chicken and all that kind of stuff down here because it's the South. I live in a majority Germanic background area, so there's like all kinds of little things that are imports from Germany, just changed in the culture of being an immigrant, and it's fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
Alrighty.
So, yeah.
This week on
that was
Florida
your-
Man Introspective.
I mean, yeah, no, there you go. Florida Man story spurs intellectual debate.
Hey, that's
Florida Man Intellectual.
I mean, to be fair, it was a Florida Man story from a university, so.
What have we become?
okay,
So
and
here's
it's something we're all passionate about.
So here's the not Florida Man story of the week.
So meta, son.
So this is actually a Denmark man story, I guess. The Denmark Museum of Modern Art was hoodwinked. Museum pays $84,000 to artist who delivers 2 blank canvases titled "Take the Money and Run."
We talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So I figured that would be a great thing to bring up in Florida Man because we didn't get a chance to make a Florida Man segment out of it. So yeah.
International Florida Man.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the guy. He was asked to recreate a piece of work that he did with money in a previous museum, but instead he decided to go a little avant-garde and take the money and run.
Mm-hmm.
Turn greed into art.
So here's
Can't fault him for it. I mean, you really can't fault him for it.
Well, the museum can, and that's the nature of his latest troubles.
So I don't know if I don't know if I'd consider this story a Florida Man story or a Florida injustice story.
Oh dear.
Okay, here's the headline. Florida man forced by court to pay child support despite DNA test proving he is not the father.
Uh-oh.
You are not the father.
Yeah,
That's Indiana too.
yeah, that's
If,
I don't know.
if you sign that birth certificate, and no matter what, you are that kid's father, unless there is a DNA, that comes up that someone else is the father, and they sign and they agree to it.
Unless you are absolved by the court of Maury Povich, you are not the father.
I need to keep up. I need that be me, but yeah.
Okay.
so.
But yeah.
So
This
here's
week I'm Maury, Florida man.
So oh, that's not the one I wanted to. Okay,
I'm
there
going
we
to say
go.
good night, folks, real quick.
Good night.
Take care.
Alrighty,
Glad to have
alrighty,
you.
wow. So next Florida man story.
Man,
Florida man uses finger guns to steal Waffle House napkins. The thing that's given away for free or just taken, Florida man uses finger guns to steal.
well,
Didn't he get shot for that?
I do not know.
Was Alec Baldwin there?
Because I thought I heard a similar story, but the thief got shot by either a cook or a waitress.
Was Alec Baldwin nearby?
Yeah. No one was hurt in the incident, it looks like.
Well, I got one right here.
Uh-oh.
Naked Florida man chases people and cops around a Chick-fil-A parking lot, telling them they're gay for looking at his penis.
I mean, I'll be honest, that's not a Florida man story. That's just a frat bro story.
Frat bro logic for sure.
So, here's the I hope you get the maximum penalty available Florida man story. Florida man accused of attacking pregnant nurse, resulting in the death of unborn baby. Yeah, no, I hope you get the maximum penalty for that shit. That's not the sound of throwing the book at someone. I mean, it's
No.
And there should, and in your repertoire, there should be the sound effect for a cell door closing. So
there you go.
Oh, I do have a door. Oh, that's opening. Door slam.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find one. I'll get one.
Mhm.
I'll find one.
Florida woman tries to scam $600 lottery winner by telling him he only won $5. Except the winner was an agent working undercover for the state lottery commission security division.
Oh, it was a sting operation for money laundering. So that's really interesting because that's in a lot of places with a lot of lotteries, that is something that actually fucking happens.
And often enough, if she got a visit from the lottery commission.
Well, it's not even that. It's the official, quote unquote, telling you your hundreds of thousands of dollars is really $100 to $500 because we're going to take 90% of it in taxes.
It's official. You
It's like,
suck.
Did you read the stuff on the back of your lottery ticket? Yeah, we get to take 90% of it. There's a lot of skeezy shit that goes on in the state-run lotto stuff.
Not fun. Not fun. Florida man and his two friends rob a drugstore of $320,000 in pills. Take precautions like wearing surgical gloves so they don't leave prints, but toss empty pill bottles out the window of their getaway car, which the cops followed like breadcrumbs to their front door.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest. If this was happening on the West Coast, it would be a non-story, especially considering some of those places decriminalized anything less than $900 as a misdemeanor offense.
Well, for possession, but this is also theft.
No, that's what I'm saying. Thefts of under $900 are decriminalized. Yeah.
Okay.
So I found a Florida man story. Florida man goes to a grocery store, orders 100 lobster tails worth $700, then attempts to steal them by escaping on an electric shopping cart. Gets arrested.
Teenage Florida man hacks his high school emails. Hacks his high school, emails everyone urgent announcement about mandatory penis inspections in accordance with Florida Penal Code 69.
Now that's a prank. That's a good prank.
Wow.
Ooh. Florida man attacked and killed by pet cassowaries. becomes first human killed by the species since 1926.
He was pecked to death.
Yeah, by what's essentially a modern dinosaur.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
And me without my animal sound effects.
this story. Oh my god. Florida man steals Bentley from inside a meat warehouse, sets warehouse on fire, then uses Bentley to drive to another burglary across town.
Okay.
Why not fill the car with fucking meat? It's a meat warehouse. That shit's expensive now.
What's the Bentley doing in a meat warehouse?
I don't know. Whoever owns it must have thought it was cool.
Okay.
Cool enough to.
You're asking what a Bentley is doing in a meat warehouse.
Yes. You don't usually keep cars in meat warehouses.
Well, if it's cool enough, it might keep the meat fresh.
Or they might be working for the mob, chopping up bodies.
Well, I mean, if it's a car, then it's more likely that they're chopping the car.
In a meat shop.
Yeah, as a front for the car chopping operation. If you're stealing a car from a meat warehouse, take the meat. At least you'll then have more meat than Arby's does, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, yeah, I tried Arby's a while back, and how it has changed. It's nothing but fat.
That's because they've expanded their selection so fucking much that what they originally did is lackluster. They really need to shrink their fucking menu and go back to roast beef sandwiches and like deli sandwich type burgers.
Yep.
Here's a good one. Florida man causes $100,000 in damage to Walmart liquor store under construction with a hot-wired forklift. Gives police his name as Alice Wonderlands and says a hookah-smoking caterpillar told him to do it.
Hey, it's more creative than saying God told him to do it, right?
Oh.
Hey.
And
oh my god.
That's
okay.
Airplane trajectory.
I don't know what the hell this is. It says Snowbird. I don't know who that I don't know what that means.
Wait, Snowbird? That's a Tennessee thing.
No, it's Snowbird Florida woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know what the term snowbird means. I should probably go look it up at Urban Dictionary. But here's the headline. Snowbird Florida woman arrested on DUI charge attempts to use her underwire bra to escape from jail, gets charged with felony escape attempt. She tried to use the wire in her bra to fashion a lockpick.
I mean,
just the look on Ross's face of
he's trying to work it out in his head.
And you
can see the gears turning, and he's trying to process how they might be done, and then trying to work it out how he would do it himself in this situation. And he's just trying. And Brenda says a snowbird is a northerner who years in Florida. Years.
Okay.
I think you sufficiently broke Ross, son. Well done.
Florida man caught illegally feeding wild alligators resists arrest. He's a good boy, and he loves bagels.
It's a dog.
He's feeding alligators bagels. Wild
Yeah.
alligators.
No.
I mean, if you domesticate anything, a lot of times they'll act like dogs. Especially lizards. Lizards will act like dogs. It's really weird. Domesticated lizards act like dogs. It's so fucking weird. I don't know why.
Yeah.
This one's pretty. Florida man arrested for having sex with stuffed Olaf inside a snowman inside a Target.
No.
I mean,
No.
That makes sense.
No. No. Boo,
Oof.
Ross. Boo. Are we getting into the darker stuff?
Wait.
Okay, here's a bit. Go ahead, son.
Florida man dresses as an officer, speeds in his Dodge Charger with police lights on it, gets pulled over for impersonating a police officer, tells police, "I'm just headed to work at a jewelry store."
Plausible, if true.
Oh, I believe it's true. I believe it's true. If the man, he would easily have the money for a Dodge Charger, police lights, working at a jewelry store. And if he's paid the money to have the speed limiter removed from the car, yeah, no, that costs quite a bit of money too. And owning several permits on the side for whoever removed it is. So, yeah, that would be quite a bit of money. And working at a jewelry store would provide it.
After failing to capture alligator on its own, Chicago hires Florida man, who catches it in less than 24 hours.
I can't believe that.
But
All right.
well, I don't know what I'm going to do after this. We haven't had a show this short in
Wow. Wow. Okay. This one's a great one. Florida man strips his Harley Davidson of values, disables GPS, arranges for it to be quote unquote stolen to receive a $30,000 insurance settlement. Gets caught on camera handing off the motorcycle to the thief, gets arrested and charged with fraud.
Ha ha ha.
dumbass.
What a
dumbass.
That's enough for me. How about you guys?
Yep, that's it for me. I think we've sufficiently Florida manned ourselves after not being able to do it for the last few weeks. Kind of nice to be able to do this again.
All right. Thank you guys for hanging out for our Florida Man post show. Hope you all have a fantastic night. We'll see you again next time.
And remember, spay and neuter your plushies. Oh, that don't really work without Lane here, does it? When in doubt, talk it out. There we go. And, yeah, everybody have a good night.
Don't do crimes.
Don't do crimes.
Daddy gets
Don't
upset
live in Florida. Don't live in Florida.
No, don't live in Texas.
Or Kentucky.
Or let's just shorten it. Don't live.
that's
live though.
Look, life is chaos. Without chaos, there is no life. So if you want people to don't live in blank, you're telling them not to live.
Okay, that's a good point.
And
And on that note, good night.
Alrighty. Good night.
Clear on Twitch.